Welcome to the 5th official episode of Now the 7. I'm your host, Donovan Sharpe, chilling out here at TSR Towers. Took a trip to Atlantic City this past week, and I'm very, very happy to report that it was a very, very good trip. But enough about me. Let's get to today's panel. Minister Jap is not going to be able to make it tonight, so the 7 will actually be the 6. So it's going to be just the 6 of us. And remember, guys, when you super chat one of us, you super chat all of us. We split the super chats evenly when the night is over. So if you support one of us, you support all of us. We greatly, greatly appreciate the support. First up is none other than Steve the Dean Williams. Steve, how's it going, man?
Chilling, man. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Steve, obviously, with the smoothest voice on the panel. Listen, I'm not the thing is like Kevin's the best dressed. Steve is the smoothest. Myron, I think, probably has the most game and the best teeth. Mr. Lucario relationship, and fucking Solo TV 84 is in fucking white girl heaven. I'm stuck here in fucking Philly, right? Jesus Christ. Next up is the fittest man on the panel, Mr. Myron, 5% body fat gains. What's up, man?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me, man. I'm looking forward to this show.
Myron, you sound really, really good. Is that a new mic?
It is a Shure.
I got the Shure.
I stole it from you guys. I saw you guys at the Shure. I'm getting this thing too, man.
Welcome.
SM7B, right?
Yeah, it's exactly. We're about to put Joe Rogan out of business, bro.
Bruh,
The cloud lifter and everything, right?
Yeah, I got the cloud lifter. I took your advice, Kev.
There you go, brother.
Listen to Kevin. When Kevin tells you to do something, you do it.
That is a fact.
Speaking of which, the best dressed man on the panel and probably the best spelling, Kevin Samuels. Kevin, how's it going, brother?
Hey, going well, guys. I really want to get into this one to come at this from a completely different view. I am quite sure.
Okay, good. That sounds very interesting. It's he's there. Next up is the man in Snow Bunny Heaven, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Solo TV 84. How's it going down there with the pink foot?
I mean, it's all good. For those who saw the Instagram yesterday, that's all I got to say, man. It's all good. Can't complain. Hey, Unplug, you saw it. I know Unplug seen it.
What you look
like?
Like fat ass? Like what's up? What you got, a fat ass or what? What's up?
My girl may be watching. That wasn't me. I was just in the vicinity. That's all I can say.
Confirm nor deny.
That's all I was just in the vicinity. That's all I can say.
Last but certainly not least, the man in a relationship that we would all love to be in. Dude has a wife and a girlfriend. Mr. Lucario, how's it going, man?
I'm chilling. What's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody tuning in the chat. Shout out to right on the panel. Let's get it going. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So let me get to the super chats here. Right out of the gate, Black Wolf Inc. with the $2 super chat says, salute and long live the Magnificent 7. I like that. Long live the 7. I like that. Chris Von Erich, $25 super chat says, long-term relationships are fine if you find a woman who complements your life and is on board with your mission. Anything less is a plate. Many props to the 7. So let's go ahead and use that as our springboard. I'm just going to ask just the general.
Shout out to Chris Von Erich, man.
Oh, yeah. Chris is the man, dude. So I'm going to start with Steve the Dean Williams because, again, half of the panel are in long-term relationships. Half of the panel is not. So this is going to be a very interesting discussion. So, Steve, according to you, let me just ask this question. Are long-term relationships worth pursuing with women for men in 2020? If so, if not, why or why not?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's because women are giving up sex more than any time ever. It's easy. It's not hard. But the problem is for a lot of guys out there, they're so busy worried about the woman and making everything about the woman. They're not focusing on what they got to do as men. Women love to be led by men. And the only way you're going to have a good relationship with a woman is knowing what you are as a man. And a lot of people that complain about women and relationships like that, you can always tell that they're the source of the problem. Because like I said before, if your kitty cat, because I'm not going to cuss, if your kitty cat if your kitty cat is tighter than hers, why would you want to be in a relationship? At the end of the day, it comes down to the man. It's not even looking at relationships, Donovan. It's really knowing what you want as a man and what you expect of the woman. But if you're open and allow the woman to do whatever she wants, you're not gonna have a good relationship, man.
So, in your opinion, it is worth pursuing relationships with women if.
Okay. Here's the thing. I would tell any man that if you're not looking to have children and push your legacy, don't do it. You know, there's no reason because you should have a harem of women. Your relationship you have is a harem of women if you don't want kids. Yes.
Steve, listen, man, real talk. You have a beautiful family, man. Like you have the family that all men aspire to have. So I certainly admire you for that. Your wife and your children love and respect you. And I think that we're all hardwired to want that, but some people may think differently. Before we get to Myron Gaines, let me shout out more super chats. Janik Latalian with the 25 HKs. I still don't know what those are. Devin, please get on that for me. He says, am I ever happy I woke up early today? Thank you very much for that. Jeremiah Bloink with the $10 super chat says, respect to the whole panel. Just a token of respect for you all. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for that, JB. I appreciate that. So, Myron, you're a single guy living the player life in Miami. Are long-term relationships worth pursuing for men in 2020? Yes or no?
I'll say it is if you want kids. Now, if you want a family, then yeah, because the only way you're really going to be able to raise a family properly is you're going to have both parents there. You're going to have to, raise those children. But I'll say this, the thing that guys got to understand is if you're going to go down that road, you're going to have sex with a lot of women and date a lot of girls. And the reason why is because the average woman nowadays is way more promiscuous than the average guy. So the only way you're going to figure this out, whether a woman is compatible with you or not, is you're going to have to go in the trenches, date girls, figure out what you like, what you don't like, and then make decisions accordingly. Because the reality is this, a lot of guys go and get married, they, commit to a girl, and they don't know how to look for red flags. They don't know what constitutes bad behavior, good behavior. The girl sells her purity to the guy, like, oh baby, I've been a good girl, all this shit. And then next thing you know, we're not swearing, right? My bad. And then next thing,
no, it's all right. Let it loose, bro. You got it.
And then next thing you know, he's getting dragged down the aisle. He's marrying the girl, and then she takes her mask off. Future, you know what I mean? Corona 2020. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, you don't even know what's going on, and he's getting raked over the coals. She's acting completely different, and then he loses half his stuff. He gets zeroed out. So I think as a guy nowadays, the only way you want to go and get in a serious relationship, number one, you're intending to have a family and children. Boom, because you're going to need that for your children to grow up properly. We all know that 2-parent households are almost required for kids to grow up without some kind of dysfunction in them, or it's going to significantly decrease their delinquency. Next, you need to be experienced yourself as a man. The problem that too many guys make is they walk down that aisle without having enough experience with enough women to discern a woman that's a good candidate for a long-term relationship and a woman that's a bad candidate for a long-term relationship. So once you figure that out, then I would say then it's worth venturing into there. But you got to really know what you're getting into, and you got to get the experience and get out there and date these girls, because times have changed drastically. Women today aren't the same they were 100 years ago. So you're going to have to basically learn these things. Then number two, you're going to have to learn how to train your girl as well. So
that's right. That's right. Listen, my general rule of thumb before I go to Mr. Lucario, for my general rule of thumb, the Donovan Sharpe rule of thumb for long-term relationships is a man should not start to pursue long-term relationships with women until they are at least 35 years old and have fucked at least 35 women. It's the 35-35 rule. At 35, you know a little bit more. You're probably making a little bit more money. If you fuck 35 girls, you know what to and what not to look for. So Steve the Dean was married. Steve the Dean is married, been married for over 20 years, never had a fight with his woman. Myron Gaines is the Miami slut slayer. So let's go back to the other side of the street. Actually, we're going to go on both sides of the street here. So Mr. Lucario is in a both long-term and a quote-unquote short-term relationship with two different women. So let me ask you from your perspective, are long-term committed relationships worth pursuing for men in 2020? Yes or no?
Yeah, they are. But actually, I'm in 2 long-term relationships, so that's the thing. So
good. Okay, all right.
But the thing is, it is worth it. But there's a but. It's only worth it if you're the type of dude who can handle an actual relationship.
There you go.
Understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
That's the problem with a lot of guys, where they want a relationship, but they think it's a set it and forget it thing. Like, okay, I got me a girl and that's that, and I ain't got to do nothing else. No, you got it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want a girl and you want a long-term relationship, understand that you now have a responsibility. You understand, when you're dealing with these women. So as long as the guy can handle that and deal with that, then it's going to be worth it. If he can't, then it's not going to be worth it, because he's going to get played, he's going to get used, he's going to turn into a guy who's bitter and angry because he didn't know what the hell he was doing, and he just got messed up in the game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's go to Solo TV 84. So Solo, you are single as a motherfucker. So a guy like you, allegedly single as single can get. So what are your thoughts on this? I think you're probably in and out. Like sometimes you're in relationships, other times you're not. Are relationships with women worth it or aren't they?
I mean, you know what, Donovan? I got to bring it up. I'm sorry. I'm going to be petty. But did anybody just see this red table talk with Will and Jada Pinkett Smith?
No.
Allegedly, these are, because these BWs, I don't know if I can say the word, Donovan, on your show. But a group of said women have always said, I want that Will and Jada love. Well, guess what? Everybody who's out in Hollywood knows they've been
yeah. All right, I'm with you now. Okay.
Open relationship.
Yeah.
But now they try to play it like they were separated, and then Jada went with this young guy who was 21 at the time, and Jada was in her 40s. And look, we all know they're just doing this for publicity to cover it up because the bag is more important. The brand is more important. As Kevin Samuels would say, the image is more important. We live in an era where most of these women are for the streets, okay? So at the end of the day, look, if you're looking for a long-term relationship, I'm not against that. I'm all for it. But most of these women are not long-term relationship material. Take it from a guy who's out in the field. I'm not talking about no Tinder or Hinge. I'm talking about actually doing social circle gaming, meeting women out in the streets, meeting women out in the field. Most of these women are great for situationships, whatever that may be. It could be a short-term fling. It could be 6 months. I don't consider 6 months a long-term relationship. That's a situationship. And I've done a lot of those. So a lot of these women, they, first of all, I do agree with what Myron said, that you got to vet women for long-term relationship material, but a lot of them just don't. Look, I'm going to be honest. Before COVID started, I was dealing with a 22-year-old Native American chick. And one day I told her, hey, make me some breakfast. Then the chick looked at me like this, Donovan. I don't know how to fry eggs.
Oh.
At that point, the relationship was learn. It was over. Yeah, so the reality is, in 2020, from a guy who's out there in the field, who's really putting in the work, no. Situationships, yes. Pump and dump, yes.
Okay.
Smash and dash, yes. Bunker buster with the force of, yes. With the force of 10,000 stores, yes. But here's the thing. Where are you going to find these relationship women? That's what I want to know. This is 2020.
Well, listen, I'll answer that question before I get to Kevin Samuels, because I think Kevin's going to offer a different perspective. And before I even get to that, let me shout out our super chats. Aqua Dragon 88 with the $2 super chat says, men forget relationships. MGTOW for life. Quarantine the Guad said, men must tame their women out of bad habits formed by culture. Especially if you want a baddie, your game has to be on point and you got to have options. I agree. Walker Jones, $10 super chat says, women are giving it away more, but what are your options on who they give it away to? A harem of attractive women seems implausible for an average man. Or am I wrong? Thank you, guys. Yes, a harem is impossible for an average man. We teach you to become above average. We teach you to become exceptional. Gentlemen, I'm here to tell you. I'm here to fucking tell you. You will not be in a long-term relationship of consequence with an attractive woman if you're an average fucking guy. We as men, we don't have an attraction floor. We'll fuck anything that moves if we're horny enough. You want to know something? Women have an attraction floor. If you're a 5, you're invisible. If you're a 7, you're invisible. You have to have other things about yourself that she thinks she can't live without. So don't come at me with, well, for the average man, fuck average. Nobody here is trying to be fucking average. I appreciate the super chat, but that's a defeatist fucking attitude. The average man doesn't deserve a fucking harem. Exceptional men do. That's the way that works. Listen, you're absolutely right, Solo. These days, is it worth being in a long-term relationship? Because I guess we're going back and forth. I guess I'll answer now. I'm in a long-term relationship. Being in a long-term relationship is only worth it for a man if he can handle it, just like Steve said, or just like Mr. Lucario said as well. It is 24 fucking 7. Dude, you cannot let up. And the reason you can't let up is because the culture has ingrained these behaviors in women. Our culture has made women think it's okay to engage in conduct that is conducive to cheating and calling it healthy. Our culture teaches women that their behaviors are normal and healthy when they put their relationship at risk every time you step out the door. For these reasons, you must have rock solid, airtight game, because if you don't, these bitches will walk all over you. So is being in a long-term relationship worth it? Not if you don't know shit about women. At some point, you gotta reach for your fucking Y chromosome and do what the fuck needs to be done. Is it worth it for me? For the time being, it is. Right now, my girlfriend has a few more pros than cons. But when and if the day ever comes where there are more cons than pros, she's out the fucking door. I mean, dude, that's, and a lot of people say, well, Donovan's just saying that. No, fuck that. I've dumped hotter girls for far less. That's the way. This is the way you have to be. My fucking haters, even my fucking haters, Joy Isabel, Lisa Faye, and this fucking Helena bit. These are all decent to above average looking women. These are women that claim to hate me. Devin knows that if she puts a foot out of line, she's fucking gone. But it's 24/7 to get to that point. It's worth it for me for now, right? But only time will tell. So, Kevin, let me come to you with this particular question.
Okay.
I'm going to offer a sort of a different perspective. So what is your perspective on whether or not it's worth pursuing relationships with women here in 2020?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. If you are going to be one of the 70 to 80% of men who are going to be working in corporate America, only 20 to 30% of you guys are going to ever have the balls or the desire to go on your own business. Know that up front. Number two, if you ever want to get out of average, if you just want to do your job in middle to the rest of your life, then go ahead and pump and dump and do whatever the fuck you want to. But if you think you're going to get into middle, upper, or executive management as a single dick swinging bachelor, I got something for you. You are confused. You are deluded. It is a boys' club. There is a ceiling, and you must be married to get in. Now, staying married is a different situation, but you got to be married to get in, because these guys don't want you fucking around with their daughters or their wives. There was an old thing in the mafia where it said, hey, one of the major files in the mafia is fucking with the other guy, messing with the other guy's wives. So here's the net of it. It's worth it for power. Power.
There we go.
All of the men on this panel have a particular personality. Marrying well means that my wife, Donovan's wife, anyone else's wife on the panel can help soften your rough edges to people who you need to work with. Making money is a social activity. You only have 2 hands, 2 feet, 24/7. You can't do everything. And if you want to go vertical, you must have a team. Your wife is your number one cheerleader. Think about Laura Bush.
Yes.
How many times how often did George Bush double down and triple down and Texas swagger his way into kerfuffles, and they would send Laura out to soften those edges?
Man, oh man.
That's what a good wife is for. She is your Wonder Woman. They need to wonder where she came from, wonder how it happened, and you have to make your own Wonder Woman. And here's the thing, it's going to be a negotiation. She has to know her benefits package, know she gets out of the deal. And then what you do on the backside, if you have a mistress or a girlfriend or whatever, guys, you gotta have a public face like Will and Jada. And I will dip a little into this. If Will and Jada were not black, if they were someone else, August, they would have called the wolf on him, and that dude would have been in a ditch somewhere. You don't mess with the brand that way. I'm gonna tell you, I said this on my show last night. You don't mess with Disney, Nickelodeon, and brands like that. That dude was only allowed to breathe because we as black people tend to be more forgiving. Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'll leave it there.
Dude, listen, very, very well said. I'll add this before I get to the super chats is you have to know how to train a woman. Back in the day, girls were trained by their mothers and their aunts and their grandmothers how to be a good woman. They used to teach their daughters to get a good man. You got to stay fit. You got to cook for him. You got to suck his cock. You got to give him kids. You got to be ride or die for him. When girls turned 18 years old back in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, they were ready-made for marriage. Fast forward now 60, 70 years, feminism has literally undone all of that. for this reason, listen, and it's not worth it for a lot of people because they just don't want to go to the trouble. Like it took me 18 months to train Devin to what she is now. And it is an ongoing process, right? Mm-hmm. If I were a little older, I might have just said, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to be a player for life in Vegas because I don't have that kind of time. So I understand if a man doesn't have the time or the desire to train bad habits out of a woman because it is difficult. But if you decide you want to step into the lion's den, so to speak, you're going to have to understand that it is on you to train these women. People say, well, how do you know she's a quality woman? Listen, if she's born and raised in America, she's not. You have to train the bad habits out of her. Let me get to these super chats here before we get to the next question. Brown B-Man says, after this red table talk thing, I'm going to say, I think I'm going to say divorce marriage isn't even worth it anymore. I can't blame him. Freelance Rona, the original TSR OG with the $5 super chat, says a little something to the tip jar. 7 Dude is the newest member of TSR Towers. I appreciate the support. Dave Doff says, how do you know if she is good for a long-term relationship? Okay, let's stop it right there. I'm going to go around the panel. I'm going to go Steve, Myron, Lucario, Solo, then Kevin. Steve, how do you know if a woman is good for a long-term relationship?
Oh boy. All right. What you got to do, number one, is you got to break up relationships. See, what most people do is they carry over just meeting the chick straight to living with her to getting married with her. What I try to teach men, every moment from meeting to dating, that's its own thing. And then the relationship is different. Living together is different. Being engaged is different. Being married is different. Every step that you go by, you have to have a set of expectations of what you expect her to be able to have for your expectations. Right. And if she cannot hit at least 7, like if you had 10, 70, that's a C. If she doesn't hit at least 7 out of 10, then you fall back. You don't go forward. But what these guys do is they carry over and go forward to the next phase. And every phase has to be a new set of high. Remember, she's like Smeagol on the Lord of the Rings. She's like going for the ring. Every level should be higher of greater demands and greater expectations, because the closer she is to being engaged or whatever, she's being more of a representation of you. And if you don't see anything in her that's worth it, you could fall back to booty call. I mean, you can just smack, but you don't have to go forward. But a lot of guys go forward because their expectations stop because they think they get a woman and some built-in sex. So they're satisfied with what they have and don't challenge the woman to be more than what she is.
Very well said, Steve. Very well said. Myron, how do you know if she is good for a long-term relationship?
Yeah, man. So I would say, and I'm in Miami, guys, so these traits are very hard to find because just so the guys know, I live here in downtown Miami. I'm 30 years old. Most of the girls I deal with are in their 20s, right? So they're not going to exemplify some of these things I'm going to talk about, but the reality is a lot of girls don't. Just like Jonathan, that's just like Donovan was saying. Well, me and Jonathan talking about this too. A lot of young girls, they just have bad habits that are not conducive to long-term relationships, right? Right. So what I would say is if she does things for you unprompted, that's a pretty good sign, especially younger girls. For example, you leave your place, whatever, to go to the store and you come back and she's cleaning, or she's made you some food, or like you tell her something like, oh man, I'm fucking starving, or something like that. You drop a little hint and then she takes upon it and like goes to serve you in some way. Now, these things are very rare, but it definitely can be done. But the thing is that your values got to be high to the point that she wants to even do that for you. Yes. Because if your value's not high, she's like, this guy's just a dork. But if your value's high, then she's going to want to, rise to the occasion and try to, angle that, hey, I'm a good prospect for a relationship. You might want to look at me, blah, blah, blah. And the other thing, too, I noticed is that because I deal with some girls from out of state, if they're willing to see you, travel to you, invest in you, that's also a good sign as well. So as my camera dies there. But yeah, so no, I got another one. But yeah, so that's what I would say are like some of the big things that show that you're, that the girl can be trained. Like this is by no means that, she's a girl, commit to her and all that. All that basically means is that she's fit for training for you to put her through the ringer to see if she actually deserves to be in a long-term relationship. It just gets her to square one to see if she's even worthy. That's what I would say. Yeah,
listen, a tight ass gets you my attention, but it takes a lot more than a blowjob.
Facts, man.
All right, so Lucario, how do you know if she is good for a long-term relationship?
Well, this is the thing, man. You gotta vet them. You gotta vet them. I always tell guys, make sure you're dating a chick 12 to 18 months before you even think about making her your girlfriend. So that's a year or a year and a half. You understand? Thanks. And if you're going to make a woman your wife, she should be with you for at least 5 years. So she should be your girlfriend for 5 years before you even think about marriage, any of that stuff. So within those years, that's when you vet her. That's when you're seeing if she's actually, worthy to go to those next steps. You see what I'm saying? When I was with my wife, we were together for 7 years before we got engaged. You understand what I'm saying? My girlfriend now, we were together for a year before she was my girlfriend. You see what I mean? So you have to take that time. A lot of guys, unfortunately, because they're so thirsty for a woman, they get with a girl, they start simping, and then they make some girl their girlfriend in like a month. You feel what I'm saying? And so this is why they end up probably marrying this girl. They get married within a year, and it goes, down the drain. So you guys have to make sure you give yourself time to vet the girl, but also you have to know what you're trying to do first before you can even vet her, because you're going to have to set up guidelines for her to follow based off of what you're trying to do in the relationship and what you want your relationship to look like. So you can't be on some, I don't know what I'm doing here, because you need something for her to follow. You see what I mean? So it's still about you. You see what I'm saying?
All right. Excellent. Dude, these are all very, very good answers. All right, Solo. How do you know she is good for a long-term relationship?
Okay, so let me say this first, Donovan, and I say this respectfully because you've put me on your platform, which I really appreciate.
Oh, dude, come on! Like
let's be honest, Donovan. If most of these women were relationship material, your YouTube channel wouldn't exist.
No, wouldn't.
Steve and Lucario wouldn't be in this business. Kevin Samuels wouldn't have women crying that are 55, still trying to get a good guy. Let's stop it. I got to be honest. Most of these women, millennial women, they're done. They're finished. Yes. They're washed. Yes. A lot of them grew up with this feminist programming. You heard about this chick, the 22-year-old. She's what, Generation Z? Doesn't know how to make eggs? Ooh.
That doesn't even take a brain, dude.
So here's the thing. You guys are talking about training women. Is it my job to teach a woman how to fry eggs?
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong. I agree that
it is.
No,
job as a man.
Yes. No, there's certain things a woman should already know how to do.
No, women
don't know train a woman how to make.
No woman comes fully trained.
They don't come in with a package deal. That's your problem. Y'all want to sit around and say, "Well, if she doesn't make me eggs, I'm getting rid of her." Then get rid of her, and then she come to me. I'm gonna teach her how to make eggs because she needs to be trained. She needs to be trained, big dog.
So, that was a mistake I made in my marriage.
But hold on,
Kevin. Wait, go ahead, Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
But also, I can speak for me. The reason I'm in business because I don't make it about women. I'm teaching guys how to be men. Women are a perk to being a man. So it's not about women. You see, y'all would, and I'm not gonna say y'all. I'm not gonna generalize. But so here's the problem: we can't sit around and say that we have dated every woman in the world to sit there and say all women are bad or women today are bad, because unless you've dated every woman in the world, then you got the right to say all women are bad. But if you've not dated them, you got your experience. But your experience is yours and yours alone. But you can't give your experience to somebody else and expect them to follow your experience without them seeing the world for themselves. Then they're just mimicking what you want them to do instead of them being themselves, man.
Okay, so Solo, you disagree. What's your rebuttal to that?
Here's the thing. It's not my job to teach a woman how to make over easy eggs. I knew how to do that since I was 10 years old. If she doesn't even know how to do the basics, then what are we doing? We'll downgrade her to like a situationship or friends with benefits. Now, the second thing I want to address is I agree. Not all women are bad or not. I haven't dated all women. I'll give you that.
Nobody has. Right.
I'll give you that. But like I said, most millennial women in this generation, and I've dealt with them from as young as 19 to up to 41 even. And with the older women, that was just a smash and dash situation. But most women, they are damaged mentally beyond repair. They have emotional trauma, some sort of personality issue, borderline personality. And maybe that's my experience, and I will say that. Now, going to the question, like the main thing I always look for is a woman that makes a good relationship is somebody who will follow my program.
Okay.
A woman who is willing to be submissive, a woman who's feminine, A woman who is loyal.
Why you laugh? Why you laugh? You said that.
I'm laughing because this whole concept of loyalty, it's gone now.
And so you're a younger.
Nah, that ain't
gone now. With women that are younger, it's gone. Everybody, listen. All these relationships in 2020, Donovan. Let's be honest.
No. Listen, I want to ask you how old you are. Like, how old are you?
I'm 35.
Yeah. See, you're and see, this is why Solo's perspective is different. You're the youngest guy on the panel, so I can see like the women you deal with are a lot younger than the women that most of us have dealt with. But so I understand your perspective on that.
But Donovan, can I say something real quick? I mean,
wait, Steve, I'll let you talk. This is my turn now. So here's the thing.
Quick, the thing is,
no, Steve, I'll let you talk, bro. I'll let you
talk. It, Donovan,
let me finish. I'm almost done.
Okay, I'm sorry. Please continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's the thing. Are there relationship material women? Yes. But it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that you can find them. There are some that are out there. But even if you do find one, then you got to train them. Okay, cool. I'll train the chick. But then you also got to deal with trauma and stuff like that.
Right.
And look, I'm not the one for it. Oh, I had abortions with little Tyrone before. Okay, I'm not therapist. Why I got to deal with that? Oh, my mother used to beat me. Or, I take anxiety medication. I just interviewed a woman who thinks she's a great catch. And she admitted that she takes anxiety medication and smokes weed. Now, Steve, she's bad. I'd fuck the shit out of her. Excuse my language. But I would not make her my girlfriend, even though she's, she cooks, cleans, does all the other stuff. But I don't deal with women that are pill poppers and smoke weed. I don't smoke weed. So at the end of the day, yes, there are women out there that are relationship material, but they're very few and far between with the women that I'm dealing with in my generation. And I'll leave it.
And listen, I'll let Steve rebuttal here. And it sounds to me, Solo, like and different men have different tolerance and different tolerance levels for different things. You seem to be a lot less tolerant to some behaviors than some men. So again, I understand that. So Steve,
I'm sure Kevin Samuels and Lakari will understand where I'm coming from. Just because we out the game don't mean we ain't out the game, man. Don't think that these 20-year-old, 19-year-olds, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29-year-old chicks are not offering the pussy to us or offering submission to us. We just because we out the game, don't think these women who you're saying that are, have all these emotional things. The thing that y'all don't understand is she could be as emotional as she wants to be, but the odd thing is when she gets around a real man, she knows how to check herself at the door because she knows if she doesn't, she's gone. So I don't even understand when you're talking about all this emotional and feeling and she going and taking her meds and all this other stuff. That's none of my business. It's what she's going to do for me. And if she's not, she's gone. So like I just want to say, Donovan, don't get it twisted. The older the way, don't say, well, because we out the game and we don't see women today.
Sure.
Run into women all day, every day of all ages. So that's why I don't agree with that. I don't agree.
Understand that. Kevin, you said you made that same mistake with your wife. Explain what you mean by that, and then answer the question: how do you know she's good for a long-term relationship?
I thought it was supposed to be easy.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be easy. I thought I was supposed to just have her ready-made out of the box, and I was just supposed to put the batteries in and it's supposed to go for the rest of his life. I didn't expect to have to do any work, any tweaking, anything to customize it to fit me. And that was one of my mistakes, thinking it was supposed to be so easy. So when you say you have to teach her to cook eggs, yes, you have to teach her to cook eggs because you like your eggs a certain way. Women are supposed to come standing with a vagina and an attitude. Okay, and after that, everything else is customizable. So to answer the question, what do you want to do? The guys I'm talking about, the guys who want to be the masters of the universe, those kind of guys, you better learn how to make your Stepford wife. You need to learn what she wants, and you need to learn what she fears.
Listen,
and act accordingly.
Listen, that makes perfect sense. And like I said, and again, I don't want to play devil's advocate, but I understand where Solo's coming from. There are just, okay, maybe a little bit of that could be hyperbole on my side, but some guys just aren't willing to deal with certain traits. There are some guys who can deal with girls who have mental problems. There aren't that many out there, but they are out there.
See, I don't even I was going to say, I don't even think that it's about dealing with those girls, because I think you shouldn't deal with those type of girls at all.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with chicks who are already trainable, meaning that
trainable.
If you have one girl who got mental issues, she got all that anxiety, she's on some nonsense, you'd be like, all right, I'll probably hit it once or twice and that's it. But then you meet a girl who you see is trainable, a girl who's cooperative, a girl who's listening to you, a girl who follows your directions. That's the girl that you actually are going to follow. This is the problem with a lot of guys, though. A lot of guys don't find those girls, and this isn't no dig to you, Solo. I'm just saying generally, because this is what I hear all the time on the internet. They keep saying, "Oh, these girls are this way, these girls are that way." And I always said to men, women are going to treat you in direct correlation to how on point your game is. Woo! So if you are a dude who she feels, because remember, women, they submit and they cooperate by choice. You understand what I'm saying? They're doing this by choice. So they're like, I'm going to choose to cooperate with him, and I'm going to choose to be a bitch to this guy. You see what I'm saying? Right. And then you have the ones that are just so far gone because they got issues. You understand? Yeah. So you got to find the women who are going to be the women who are going to cooperate with you. But also, if you step up your game, then you will find more of those women who are going to cooperate. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Well, let me give my perspective. I agree with Lucario 100%. I don't think it takes much to figure out. You can't tell if a girl is good for long-term relationship material after the first date. You can't tell after the second date. You can't tell after 5 months. You can't even tell after 8 months. Gentlemen, it takes time. Okay. Listen, girls know what men want. And the reason why we know what they want is because they're always telling us what they won't do to keep a man. So they know exactly what the fuck we want and what we need from a woman. Any woman can fake the funk for 5-6 weeks, 5-6 months, right? But this is exactly why you have to put that time in. And again, if it's not worth it for a man to put in the time and the effort required to vet and train a woman, you're getting no argument from me, because trust me when I tell you, there was a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, a lot of crying, a lot of fucking hand wringing on my end when I was listen. Devin was a trainable woman all the way through. Always did exactly what I asked her to do. It still wasn't easy. Dev had a lot of bad habits that I had to train out of her. And I remember at about the halfway point, I said, Devin, at this point, you know enough about my process to know what's up. So at this point, it doesn't matter if you can't or won't. If you don't, then I'm not going to do this anymore. She straightened her ass out, and it took her a little while, but eventually she did. She stayed the course, and now she's going to Hawaii with me for the second time in October, first class both ways. So there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, as long as she feels like she's worth it to you. On the other side of that coin, I understand when guys are on their purpose, they don't have time to be fucking training females. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say, if a girl didn't know how to cook eggs, and I know that was just an example that Solo used, but it really just depends on how much effort you're willing to put in. Because listen, she might not know how to cook eggs, but guess what? She looks good in fucking in high heels and likes to clean. So that gives you at least something to work with. But I understand that guys, even though they understand the girls have to be trained, I understand that guys are like, dude, like I don't have time to fucking build a woman brick by brick from the ground up. I happen to have the time when I was training Devin, and I'll tell you what, if Devin and I weren't together, and I would be where I am now, because I most certainly would be, and a bitch wanted to be my main chick, I don't have time for that shit right now. I'm building a fucking empire. So it really depends upon where a man is in terms of his stage of life. So very, very good answers there.
Donovan, can I ask a question to Lucario and Steve, since they're the married ones on this panel?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you and you guys? I'm just asking a question. It's nothing personal. But Lucario, Steve, did y'all have to train your wives before y'all got married?
Yeah, of course. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because see, this is the thing, is that in order for the relationship to work, in order for it to actually last, in order for it to be beneficial to me and also her, she has to acclimate to what I'm about and who I am and how I'm trying to make things go down, because I'm her leader. I'm the one that's directing the situation. You see what I'm saying? Right. And so this is why it's imperative. But also with that too is, and this is what guys got to understand, is that you don't necessarily have to, like, if you're like, look, I ain't got no time for that. That's why I was saying where it's a 24-hour thing. If you don't have no time for that, don't be in no relationship. But understand that if you want to be in a relationship, this is what you have to do, not what you feel like doing, not what you might do. This is what you have to do. So if you don't want to do this, you can't be in a relationship. So you can't have a relationship and not want to do the work. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing where I think a lot of guys think they can have that relationship.
I mean, Mario, can you give some examples of how you had to train your wife?
Like, for example, so, you know, I do my whole business thing. So, for example, there were things in my business that I would teach her how to do to help the business grow so we can make more money. Also, there were ways that I would, you know, when we would be interacting or we would go outside or we would, you know, be at different places, I would say, okay, listen, you know, make sure when we're out here, make sure you're dressed this way because you're representing me. You feel what I'm saying? So because I sometimes have people recognize me on the street. You see what I mean? So I can't be Mr. Locario and walking with somebody looking crazy. You see what I'm saying? Like, so those are just small examples. But what I'm saying is that it's a thing that you know overall has to be done because she's now part of your situation. She becomes part of your life. So if you're going to have somebody who's part of your life, they have to be trained in what you're doing. Just like if you have a company, you bring somebody in your company, they have to be trained to sustain whatever that company is doing to keep things going. You see what I mean?
Hey, Solo, and so it's no disrespect taken. The thing is this: at the end of the day, she's going after my name and my ring, so she's got to follow my instruction. At the end of the day, I train her to be a representation of me. She is definitely her own person. But she knows that she is going to have to make the modifications to represent me, kind of like what Lucario said. She is a representation of what I do. I'm not a representation of her. Right. So I'm never trying to be like her. She's trying to figure what can I do to be on board first. Then what can I be able to do to keep climbing up the ladder to get my attention, my time? Because I'm not falling in love. I fall in respect. That's what I always tell. I fall in respect first. So the thing that she's got to do, how I train my woman is that I told her we're not going. There's no $35,000 wedding. There's nothing. Here we got. We're gonna take $2,000. We're going to get the rings. We're going to fly to Vegas. We good. and after a decade or when the kids, because I had plans, once the kids are old enough, we'll all fly back to Vegas and renew our vows. But that's how you train her. And here's the beautiful thing, Solo. She can say yes or she can say no. And if she says no, the thing is I can walk away. I can walk away. So no, what you're asking is good. But I'm saying that as men, we like Kevin said, we got to train them because they come out the box like wild ass horses.
But Steve, I bet you didn't have to train your wife how to make eggs, though. Come on, that's what I'm saying.
Well, okay, not eggs. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, but see, some women don't. Okay, I don't. I'm gonna date myself. I took home economics, so don't judge me.
Hey, so did I, fam.
Right. So and learn how to sew. Don't judge me. But what I'm saying is, no. So what I'm saying is, if the woman you're with, like, and just say eggs or something, she doesn't know how to make eggs. Depending on how you feel about her, you train her. If you see more good things in her, and she has a negative, that's how you train her to be, add on to you. Because think about it, Solo. You're looking at what can she do for me? What are you bringing to my table? Right. And if you're bringing something to my table, but there's a negative of you can't cook eggs, then I'll just take a minute. Look, I'm about to cuss. Here's some eggs, here's some milk, scramble that joint up, and let's do it together. So next time I say I want some eggs, you'll know how to go in the kitchen, grab the eggs, scramble it up, and cook it for me. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Hey, I just want to chime in real quick, man, as a young guy, because I'm gonna have to go with Solo a little bit on this one, guys. I'm 30. Solo's a little 5 years.
You're the youngest.
Yeah, so I'm the youngest.
And I'll be the bookend on it.
Yeah, so Solo's 35, I'm 30. So, and I'm here in Miami. I'm gonna say this, guys. Like, I see Solo's point, because when you date these younger girls, like, they don't have rudimentary basics. And then what it comes down to is you got to be like, damn, okay, I got to teach her how to cook eggs. But it's much more than that. There's other things she doesn't know how to do too. And if you're a guy like we were discussing before, where you're on your purpose, you're building your empire, you're trying to fucking get to 7 figs, whatever it may be, you're not going to necessarily have time to train her and teach her how to be a woman. And then the other thing too, I'm going to add to it, is that really hot girls have really bad habits, which I'm sure you guys know about.
Thank you.
But it's worse now in 2020. Like, if you take a bad chick, I'm talking 8, 9s, 10s, girls that had like pretty much like, they're getting offers from high value guys all the time. Like, They just have bad habits and they don't think they have to improve themselves. So they're not going to want to submit to your training a lot of the time, even though they might see you as high value, because they're in their eyes, they're like, a lot of girls have this perception of abundance in their head from a high value guy just because they're getting hit on so much. But what they don't understand is these dudes are just trying to sleep with them. They're not necessarily trying to commit to them. But girls conflate that with, oh, I got all these high value guys coming after me. Why should I learn how to cook or learn how to do any of these things? This is below me. And that's how a lot of young hot girls think nowadays, because a lot of girls, basically, I'm just going to keep it real, that I've noticed in the 20s and stuff like that, are in their 20s that are very attractive. They basically want all the benefits of masculinity that come from like a high value guy. They want the provisioning, the security, the attractiveness, etc. But they don't want to adhere to their roles on the feminine side that need to be met to attract that high value guy. And it's even more polarizing now in 2020 because a lot of girls nowadays don't have these behaviors, but they still expect all these things from guys. So I see where Solo's coming from. And I can say from experience being here in Miami with the hottest girls, they do think that way. But I do agree and see where Kevin and Lucario and Steve are coming from. But you know, I would say like nowadays with these younger girls, like sometimes it's not worth training them, teaching them how to cook eggs. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Before I get to Kevin, Myron, you make a very good point. Hot girls, dude, more often than not, hot girls are useless because they've never had to be useful. So if they're getting offers thrown in their direction just for existing, they don't really have an incentive to increase their value. However, when they run up on a dude whose value is high enough and he shows an aptitude and understanding how to handle women, she might at that point say, okay, obviously I see that that some work needs to be done here if you're worth it. Kevin, what do you have on this?
First off, Donovan, you said exactly what I wanted to get into. First of all, I don't deal with women over 30. And what I do realize at this point in my life, when I thought my value was high, maybe it wasn't high enough for the kind of woman I wanted, for her to make the adjustments that I needed. Because there is somebody out there that she will make adjustments for. But I have two points I need to make. A man needs to know what he's getting in return for his investment. Training her. What's the return? It's not the fact of cooking the eggs. It's what are you getting in return? And then the last part is, what could a long-term relationship, wife or whatever, how could those be beneficial to your outcomes or goals that you want to achieve? See, we're just looking at this thing very, very, very narrow. Like that these people don't have any value outside of the bedroom or eggs. Exactly. The world sees value in a woman next to you. Again, why do you think it's a requirement for the president of the United States to be married?
Yes. That's a very good point. That's a good point.
Facts. Can I jump in? Oh, go ahead.
No. Well, I was going to say, I guess Lucario can put a bow on this. From my perspective, to put a bow on this particular conversation, it would appear that this is almost divided along age lines, because if I'm 28, 30 years old, Myron, Solo's age, and you have to understand, Solo's up here smashing these fucking 8s, 9s, and 10s snow bunnies. So if he gets a snow bunny who doesn't know how to make eggs, then I can understand he can be a little bit more selective. That's what happens when you have that abundance mindset. Also, it also has to do with time. If you don't feel like it's worth it, then I don't blame you.
Wait, Donovan, they're Minnesota 10s, not the same as a LA 10. Let's be clear.
Miami 6s, maybe Vegas 5s. Lucario, what you got?
Yeah, I was gonna say, piggybacking off what Kevin was saying, is that you see, what guys gotta understand is that, and kind of what Myron was saying about the young women and the young girls and all that. See, most dudes, unfortunately, are just focused on sex. So when you focus just on sex, that's all you're going to get. So when guys are even talking about, being on a purpose or building something and all that other stuff, if you're actually dealing with women just sexual, you're actually taking time away from you building something, because the women you're dealing with sexually should also be the women that are helping you build. You see what I'm saying? Or they got to be doing something. I don't even care if this girl makes you a sandwich after you have sex. She got to be doing something outside of sex to interact with you to make stuff happen. So it is not wrong here and there to have a girl that you're just gonna hook up with, and that's that. But what it is sometimes you're gonna have to sacrifice the hot girl who's a 9 and a 10 just because she's having sex with you, or just because she's gonna give you some booty, to say, listen, you're not really doing anything for me. So I'd rather get with that 7 who's going to actually do something for me.
There we go.
Also, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that's going to build you up and build the situation up. You see what I mean? And that goes along with actually having a long-term relationship. It's like I'm playing the long game with this girl or that girl, and I see that she's trainable and coachable. So I'm going to continue that. And of course, you can still here and there have sex with a woman. But what it is that these young girls, the reason why they're acting so crazy and all over the place is because sometimes we don't require anything from them but sex. You see what I'm saying?
Steve, what you got, man?
I just want to say this real quick to roll off of what Lucario's saying. A lot of men who are young are not ever used to being in a position that women want to do for them. When women, a lot of guys out there, a lot of young guys are not used to women saying, wow, okay, I see what you bring to the table. I don't mean with money or clothes, cars, how you come to the table as a man. It's the same reason why young college girls sleep with the professor, because it's an emotional investment that they're putting into that man. And a lot of guys are not used to women wanting to do for men. And I would use them go with the eggs. We talking about the eggs. Like a woman, a woman saying, you know what, I don't know how to make eggs, but can you teach me how to make eggs? Because I want to make you happy. I want to make you smile. I want you to think about me when you're thinking about eggs or whatever have you. But what I'm saying is a lot of young men have never been in a position to understand that women will submit and that women will do for a man when she sees value in him without him even having to ask.
Well, listen, that was an unbelievable discussion there. I think we learned a lot there. And one thing is, out of all this, one thing is abundantly clear. Solo TV likes eggs. I think that. Let me shout out some super chats before we move on here. Kevin Samuels Jr. Kevin, you got some baby mamas out there, I guess we don't know nothing about. With the $50 super chat says, yes, if you are a highly successful man, as long as she's feminine, cooperative, and doesn't hinder your success. More times than not, juggling multiple women can be a job thing. Hey, real. Everybody wants to be fucking 3 different girls until he's fucking 3 different girls.
It's a pain, dude. Juggling 2 girls.
Bruh. Listen, it's like you said, fucking 2 girls is enough trouble. Now, the $5 super chat says, as a man, you get the privilege of choosing your sexual market value and relationship market value. That is male privilege. It is work, though. Listen, truer words,
very true
spoken. Hang on a second. We have all kinds of super chats.
Oh wow.
Oh man, don't tell me that did I miss some of these? I'm gonna have to go back and read these super chats because here we go. No, dude, just give me a second, guys, because these are unbelievable. Okay, there we are. So the next super chat comes from Greatness81, and forgive me, I can't put these up there because for whatever reason it's not letting me go back. They're coming in so hot and heavy. So Greatness81 says most women are raised up to be like men, and most men are raised up to be like women. Yes. Finding long-term relationships in 2020. I totally understand that. Amar Kermani says long or short, a man has to hold up to power, status, and unapologetically go after what he wants. LTR to leave if no other woman wants you. I agree with that. Rob L, $2 super chat says, I think it is only worth it if the man is in control. Got you. Clue with the $5 super chat says, these brothers on this panel are 13th grade teachers. The school system won't tell you that. You need to pass the 13th grade before you start college. Yeah. King Life says, what type of tests should you put her through? That's a discussion that could go on for hours, but I would suggest that you do this. You need to get my free ebook, 16 Ways to Immediately Disqualify Her for a Long-Term Relationship, or you can get your hands on my audio course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up. That will show you all the tests that you need to put her through. Steve always talks about the appetizer test. That's a really, really good one. C-Dub with the $5 super chat says, what most reveals if a woman is worthy of your commitment is excellence over time, elevating your life, providing, willing, and able to meet your standards. That's right, man. Like any woman can fake the funk for only for so long. At some point, the mask is going to come off. Ed Lattimore, $20 super chat says year-long probation at least. He says, sad to see most guys don't have the discipline to put her through her paces to see if she's worth a damn. A woman can't fake it for longer than 3-5 months. Gotta see if she's real fucking talk. Walker Jones says, throughout dating, even if you see long-term relationship potential, is there a certain date count or time frame that you guys decide to move on if she refuses to sexually and emotionally submit to you? If she refuses to sexually and emotionally submit to you,
you kick her immediately. Yeah.
Listen, this is a test that you can deploy almost immediately. If you show her masculinity, if she becomes more masculine in the face of masculinity, she's got to go. If she doesn't submit to you physically and sexually, she's got to go. No amount of time is going to make her do that. There's no, like, again, you can't just see this. Okay, get rid of her. It does take time. Red Sings the Blues says standing on your title and your name is important. What she does for you is more important than what you do for her. You should never think about a relationship with her. She must do that with you. That is exactly what Steve Dean says. Real talk. King Henry with the $2 super chat. He did another $2 super chat. Says Will Smith should have trained Jada not to cheat. That is very, very interesting. All right. And I've got a couple more, and then we will discuss the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett thing here. Give me a second.
Oh, man.
Coming in fast. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to open up the floor. Dude, everyone wants my take on this, and I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research so I can, god damn, these super chats coming in. Here we are. Jojo Sigma with the $2 super chat says LTRs don't stop lust for better guys. Look at Will. You guys are killing me with these grammatical errors. Lazy Dog, $55 super chat says, I'm 20 and I've been soaking up all this knowledge so I can have a better future. When did you guys take the red pill? Oh boy. That's
a good question, actually.
Listen, it's a good question, but dude, we'll go all.
That's another video.
Forever. That's a whole nother, everyone's origin story. That's another one.
Question mark with the $35 super chat. He says, I realized that women put zero effort or are unwilling to learn. It meant there was a problem for me. When I am hitting threes and shrugging like Michael Jordan, they are BDSM level submissive. Thank you for all of your great work. So I guess let's go back to the whole Will Smith, Jada Pinkett thing. Listen, I'm going to go around the panel and just sort of give your opening and closing salvo on this. So Steve, listen, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, they've been in the news forever. I guess Jada had a relationship that Will Smith didn't know about. He had to come out and say that he had given her consent. Obviously, Will was hurt by it. What are your thoughts on this?
I can't blame Jada. I'm not going. I will never blame Jada for this. I'm going to put it on the man.
Okay.
And here's the problem. Will, number one, this is what happens when you pick the low-hanging fruit, number one. When you grab the bottom of the barrel, this is what you get. When you try to clean her up and try to make her something more than she's not, number one. But number two, here's the problem. Will train Jada to do this. Now, I don't believe Jada cheated. I don't believe it. Jada just was looking for a man. She just screwed that dude because she wasn't getting anything from Will. But what's even worse is that as soon as she sat on that table a month ago, or this has been a year that she's been doing this red table thing.
Yeah, man.
As soon as
that's what she got out of pocket.
The rule of the game is you don't put my business out on the street. As soon as she did that, he should have packed her. I can't cuss, can I?
Go ahead.
Her motherfucking shit up and told her monkey ass. I won't call her monkey. Told her ass, get the fuck out of my life. But you know what he did? He reinforced the behavior by saying it's okay, keep going. Where she was saying, well, I don't even know if Will and I are alike. She doesn't want Will. Look, here's the last thing I want to say. Will is a nice guy. That's the problem.
That is the problem, yes.
A great guy. He's a great, nice guy. But nice guys don't win in this game. You got to be able to say no, and you got to be able to walk away. That's all I want to say.
Okay. Myron, what are your thoughts on Will and Jada?
Man, I'll just say this. Like, I'm going to agree with Steve on this. This is not Jada's fault. Anytime there's mess ups like this in a relationship, I always blame the man. Because at the end of the day, you're the leader. So that means you bear the authority, you bear the responsibility. And when things go south, it's your fault. You know what I mean? Girls only act out of pocket when you allow them to. So with that said, I'm going to say this. I personally look at it like if you're a celebrity, a rapper, like high level athlete, whatever it may be, you shouldn't get married. You just shouldn't. Like, I don't know what these guys are doing. Like, I would be having multiple girls. I wouldn't commit to none of these chicks, and I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I'd literally be. I would make Future look like a beta, bro. If I got some money, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind, like a millionaire status and a blue check. You guys don't want me to get a blue check. So anyway, like I was saying, but the point I'm trying to make here is that real talk, like. And I get it. It's a business move because when you have a family, when you're married, you're more clean. You're going to get more acting roles. That's why he's been able to stay in the game so long is because
let me cut you off right there, Myron. Let me go ahead right there. Listen, Will Smith has been in the game for a while, but his acting gigs, like it's kind of an open sort of closed running joke that Will's last 10 movies, not really so good. When Will was single and smashing ass left and right, I'm not gonna say that his career is correlated with him being single, but and I understand the brand thing. I'm sure Kevin would speak to that too. But Will Smith would have been fine with or without Jada.
I agree, and that's why I'm saying like he was able to get more acting roles because of it.
Yeah.
But he didn't need her. You know what I'm saying? So I always look at it like when you're a guy that's high value, like at that level. I don't know why you're getting married to women, but like it is what it is. I mean, I guess you wanted a family, which if you want a family, I understand that. You know, you want 2 parents in the household, but I blame him for not setting up proper parameters to kind of keep this because whatever he wants to do, whether he wants to do a polygamous thing and have her let her do her thing and everything, the point is he should have controlled it better so it wouldn't get out in the limelight like this. Because let's make no mistake about it, this shouldn't have got out. Now pretty much at this point they're doing damage control to protect the brand. And I get it; it's a business move. So they're it is what it is. They're laughing to the bank with this right now. But it shouldn't have got out in the first place. So they're just saving face at this point. But Will, I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, what are you doing, bro? It is what it is.
Lucario.
Yeah, I see that this is the thing with the whole situation is that, and I kind of agree with Kevin on this about the whole, protecting the brand thing is, see. People think because Will would have been okay without Jada, but Jada definitely helped Will Smith become Will Smith. Let's make no mistake about that. Because what I mean, it's the same concept of what Kevin was talking about, where the president has the wife. It's the whole look. That because the thing is that whole look makes Will Smith more likable.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I meant. Yeah,
right.
When I was before he needed her.
Right. It makes him more likable, and so what happens is that, and this is why he's trying to keep it going. This is why they're like, hey, we're life partners, this and this and that. Because even with whatever happened now, more women are looking at like us guys who we understand what's going on. We're looking at him like, Will Smith, that's crazy. What's wrong with you? You're a beta male, all that other stuff, right? Women are looking at him like, oh, I love Will Smith. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, that's it.
You see what I'm saying? So it's business. So Will Smith probably was like, look, this chick is annoying. I don't really like her like that, but I'm gonna stick with you because to get this bag. You see what I'm saying? But also I agree with what with what Myron was saying, where he should have conducted his open relationship a little bit more. He should have managed it a little bit more. He should have been like, look, you could do what you do with these dudes, but you got to do what you do with a certain type of guy. You understand what I'm saying? So the guy she was doing it with wasn't the type of guy who could keep his mouth shut. You understand what I'm saying? So that was the mistake there, and that was something he should have managed a little bit better. But that's my take on it.
All right, Kevin, what are your thoughts on the Will Jada saga?
All right. My understanding is Will Smith knew about August Alsina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They didn't get blindsided. They knew about it. August had a CD come out or a project just released. And it's my assumption that his PR team probably said, hey, you're not under a non-disclosure. Let's leak out your old relationship with Jada to catch some of that Smith social media buzz. And Will and Jada had to speak because the brand was on the line. If you notice, the Will and Jada first said, we came here because we specifically didn't say anything. We didn't do anything. If you heard something that Smith says, it did not come from us. They did that years ago. This happened years ago. So August slipped this up. Like I said, if this were not black people, the wolf would have went to see August Alsina. Now, here's the other side of it. My hat's off to you, Mr. Will Smith. You had an excellent PR person. Way to go on a scripted, rehearsed red table talk in less than 12 minutes. This man hit so many grand slams. He got Jada to have to say, not entanglement, relationship. He got it on the record that I can love a black woman through anything. And he got that. He got a tagline in Bad Marriage for Life and a high five, and we are smiling. This motherfucker just hit the mega Powerball. You do not realize what Will Smith just did. Will Smith is now golden with every woman on the planet and black women 10 times over. When everybody who think all the dudes is saying you beta, all the women are like, I love fucking Will Smith. I want to buy getting jiggy with it. Motherfuckers is buying Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince albums and CDs and shit.
Right, exactly.
Women love him, and Will Smith has 18,000 get out of jail free cards. This dude can go back to Will Smith of Hitch and whatever. He can never fuck up. He can go back and get his house. He can, like you said, his movies were better before. Well, now the world is, oh, hey, this motherfucker has a free reign because he said, I still got to get you back. And she said it. I'm going to give you those petty points. My fucking hats off to you, sir. Goddamn good PR and managing the brand.
I'm gonna say this. I just want to say this real quick, man. This is why being a beta male is profitable. Like the thing is this: if he got on that table talk, right, and was like, "Yo, Jada, fuck you, we're done. You're a fucking loser. Like I'm going and hitting these blonde baddies after this."
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
I gotta challenge you on this. Why do you say that's beta?
Well, no. Well, here's the thing. I mean, she basically embarrassed him.
He controlled that shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So check me out. That's what I'm saying. Yes, he controlled it. But what I'm trying to tell you is that he portrayed himself as a beta male on the air because that is more appealable to the viewership and profitable.
To whom, though?
To the audience, because women are much more likely to buy.
He portrayed himself as a beta. The guys who call him Will Beta, we're a very, very small segment. This side of
you guys are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
You guys are saying the same thing.
This guy looks alpha as fuck to a lot of people because he had his wife confess on her show and he made her do it.
No. Absolutely. But this is what I'm saying, though, Kev. I'm not saying that he's the beta male. What I am saying is that he's portraying a beta male, right? And that is profitable. Like behind the scenes, Will Smith is definitely, doing some tricks. You know what I'm saying?
Will Smith had a side
puppeteer
90, right? Like, dude,
okay, Will Smith has bought Dwayne Wade a house. They have had an open marriage for the longest. The problem was, they did not. First off, they're black, and black people tend to be more forgiving, more children, more Jesus Christ. If this were not black people, that dude would have had a non-disclosure agreement, or he would have had a timely OD or car accident. Power people kill these. I mean, I'm sorry. Power people make sure these things happen. They don't happen in the public. The Chappaquiddick. I mean, the Kennedys.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Solo, what are your thoughts on the Will and Jada saga?
Thank God I finally get to say something. Are we not all like gonna ignore the elephant in the room? There's been rumors for years, right? Yeah. Dogging the Smith family that they've been in this open relationship. I mean, we all heard about Jada supposedly when she was on this show Hawthorne or whatever, that she hooked up with Mark Anthony and Will walked in on him in the bedroom. Or how about Will Smith with Margaret Robbie? All of a sudden they're doing all these movies together.
Margot,
and then Will Smith is in
Menendez
making out with Ava Mendes. And there are photos out there, Donovan.
Yep.
Photos of Will and Ava Mendes like full-blown making out. And then Dwayne Martin, and I'm not trying to get too far into the rumors, Donovan. I know your show's not like that, but allegedly they've been in this open area.
Be careful with that one.
Here's my thing. Look, when I saw the show, it was cringy when I heard them say, "We ride together, we die together, bad marriage for life."
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it's more appealable to do that.
It was
let me ask both of you guys a question.
I'll let you guys talk. It was so fake. The whole marriage is fake. It's all about the bag. Lucario, you even made a video about this. You know what's going on. It's about the money and the brand. And let's not act like we haven't seen Will do weird stuff with his son either. I'm not going to go there.
Look at
the whole Smith family is weird, bro.
Okay,
it's weird. Hold on.
I'm gonna put a bow on this conversation. This is exactly why I don't like to talk about this stuff.
Right.
Because Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, that's not a real life marriage, guys.
Right.
And when we talk about these things like perpendicularly, I don't know if that's a word, together, we can't really imagine their listen, from a real red pill perspective and a real life, Will Smith fucked up by marrying Jada Pinkett in the first place. The woman's mother had a fucking 20-year heroin addict addiction. Facts. Jada Pinkett says that she is a sex addict. Black flag. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. That's in the real. But now we have to say, well, and Kevin's right. Kevin and Meyer are both right, because now we have to sit there and laud Will Smith's quote unquote beta behavior because it really is better for the brand.
100%.
You don't think we know that being a beta male and pandering to women is far more profitable than this? You know how much Derek Jackson is worth? Max is worth. This is why I don't talk about this stuff, because when you look at it from a world view, Will Smith is doing the right thing for his career. But when you talk about the 6 or the 7 of us, Will fucked up when he put a ring on that host finger in
Facts.
the first place. That's what it comes down to.
Women are 80% of the consumers, man. So you have to appeal to them. And being soft and forgiving of your wife is going to get you acting roles later. If you're like, oh, fuck you, I'm going to go deal with some baddie blondes after this, he would have hurt himself. You know what I'm saying? Alpha does not make you money.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
But at the end of the day, here's the thing. Yes, we all seen the Will Smith memes now on Twitter, right? The voiceovers and all of that. At the end of the day, let's be honest. Will Smith, he doesn't really care what Jada's doing. He cares more about the bag. That's all I got.
Yeah, that makes sense. As he should, as he's a man.
Thanks.
The $10 super chat says donated earlier to Solo. Like you guys keep up the good work. I appreciate the $10 super chat. I just skipped over another. I hate when this chat fucking jumps because it fucks up my flow. Technomage B5 with the $10 super chat says once a cheater, always a cheater. It's the worst kind of lie. Break the promise. As Kevin said, once you lie to me, it's over. Right. That's why I don't talk about celebrity relationships because, again, Will Smith has been smashing side pussy for years. Jada has been taking dick on the side for years. I don't know why this is surprising to anybody, but of course, brand-wise, we have to at least acknowledge
Hollywood is clown world, man. People don't understand that. It's literally clown world out there.
I have had and currently have celebrity clients. When you look at entertainment, athletic, marriages, I mean, especially in entertainment, it is always scripted. In politics, it's scripted.
Yeah.
Will married Jada because she gave him edge and street cred because he was too bubblegum.
Yeah, he was. He was.
And here's the thing. I will say this. When you can get your wife to make a beta move, make you look alpha to the majority of people, not over here. That's why I'm like, I need to know who his PR firm is because that was a
great business move, man. Great business move.
Listen, there is no PR firm that could help me to kowtow to a woman like Jada fucking Pinkett. I'd be like,
I don't know, Donovan. If they offer you $10 million, you might take the blue pill. You know?
That's why I say you gotta. It depends on what.
I'm gonna tell you what. Listen, check this out. Now, listen, 2-3 years ago, that might be a tempting proposition. Not so much right now, man. Not so much right now. You can add some zeros to that. Rob Bell with the $2 super chat says Jada needs a firm hand. Will is too soft. We don't know whether that's true or untrue because again, it's clown world. It's bizarre world. We don't know what their marriage really is like. And I'm gonna put a bow on this Will Smith Jada Pinkett thing. Their marriage has been fucked up from the start. And if you need any other proof, look at their children. Their children are fucking clowns. We got Willow Smith who thinks she's a boyish. Dude, I can't even. Again, think of Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade has a son who is now his daughter. That's a celebrity professional athlete relationship. That tells you all you need to know about the realness of their marriage. We don't know what the fuck goes on behind closed doors over there, man.
That's what I said last night on my show regarding look at Trey and then look at Willow and Jaden. That's what you get. And that's the realest thing. He married her for one reason, but it's all been downhill inside of True Union. That's why they laughed and said bad marriage of life. They had to laugh at how screwed up their whole situation is. They know it.
Kings are gone the second with the $5 super chat says Will don't want that lifetime. Alimony C-Dub with the $20 super chat. So the problem with Will and Jada is that money and brand loyalty will only keep a woman in pocket so far. The only thing that will keep a woman in pocket is if she respects and fears more than she loves. Listen, you're right in the real world, but dude, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett are set for life financially on both ends. The rules don't apply to that. It's just true. The rules just don't apply to celebrity couples. That's right. Okay, so wait a minute. Is that the last super chat? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Thanks for all the support, guys. By the way, man.
Oh yeah, this is. I mean, dude, you guys are all. Everyone is always very, very generous. So I'm gonna go around the panel here because I think that what we have established tonight is that a long-term relationship is worth it if, and correct me if I'm wrong here, if she brings more benefit to you than she. Or like, there are more pros than cons. If you are equipped to handle and train a woman. And if you have the time, right? So I guess my next question is, and I'm going to start with Steve, and I'll go around the panel here. If you were to go back to 18-year-old Steve the Dean Williams, okay, what would you tell him? What would you tell 18-year-old Steve about what life is like now with regards to relationships?
I would tell him to keep your eyes fucking forward. I would tell him to understand that you're going to have falls and pitfalls and things like that. But as long as you stand on your name and as long as you stand on your laws, rules, codes, narratives, principles, mission statement, vision statement, legacy statement, as long as you stand on that, you'll be able to cut through the storm, because there are going to be women that are going to come in your life. There are going to be women that are going to leave your life. There are going to be women that are going to want to marry you. Women that are going to want to have kids by you. Women that are going to want to see you fuck her in front of their husbands type thing. You're gonna do all these things, but at the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror. At the end of the day, before you lay your head down, you got to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what have I done to show her why she should be sucking my dick and fucking me versus the other way around?
Wow, well said, Steve. Myron, what now? You're only 30 years old, so this is 12 years ago. What would you tell 18-year-old Myron Gaines?
I would tell him that, you keep doing what you're doing at 30. You got to figure these girls out, man. Because the thing is, man, I'm really glad that I figured this stuff out, when I was younger. It really started hitting me when I went to college around 22, 23, because I always say college is like a mini version of the real world, where in college, if you're an athlete or you're a frat or whatever, that social proof it goes much further for you helping get women than anything else. And that kind of applies to the real world now. You got a blue check, you're a celebrity, whatever it may be, it helps you get girls. So the biggest thing I would say is you got to get out there, you got to date these girls, you got to get your leg count up. And I know guys are, oh, it's not all about leg count. You're right, it's not all about leg count. But the reason why you got to get it up is because you need to be on equal footing with most of these girls. Back in 2008, there was a study that the average girl at 21 years old had more sexual partners than the average guy.
Dude, hold on. Wait. We didn't need a study to tell us that.
Yeah, but for all the guys in here that are statisticians.
Listen, the fact that they had a study come out just shows you how clueless people are. Well, there's a study that came out that girls are sleeping with more men. That no fucking shit. And I'll tell you this, and I'll let you finish, Myron.
Yeah.
I've always said this. The average woman has slept with more women than the average man.
Fact. Yo.
That's real. That's
and Donovan, let's make it worse. That was in 2008, Donovan. That's not even now. Now with online dating apps and Instagram and everything, I guarantee you it's much more skewed. So the thing is this, guys, for a young guy that is like trying to figure this out and trying to get a long-term girlfriend, you owe it to yourself to get out there and date and figure this out, because you best believe these girls are figuring it out way younger than you. So the only thing you can do is figure this stuff out quickly, figure out female nature, and then put yourself in a position where you're educated enough to move into a relationship on your terms, and you have the skill and backing to demand certain behaviors from her and from when you're high value. Because if you don't, then you're going to get taken to the ringer, man. She's going to sell you purity. You're going to be like, okay, sure. You're going to buy in, and then you're going to get divorce raped. So guys got to figure this stuff out now more than ever and get that experience and go out there and date girls.
Hashim, what would you tell 18-year-old Mr. Lucario?
Man, I think one of the biggest things I would tell my 18-year-old self is to get more out of women than vagina. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I would say. Just get more. You know what I mean? Like let her do more stuff for you. You feel what I mean? Like deal with women who, like take the girl who's the 7 but can do something for you over the 9 who could only give you vagina. That's what I would say for the 18-year-old me. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I totally agree. Kevin, what would you tell 18-year-old Kevin Samuels?
I would tell him that life ain't fair. Live the 48 laws of power. Live the art of seduction. There are no permanent anything except interests, and act accordingly. And remind yourself of that always.
One thing that I really like about Kevin's perspective is that Kevin is always acutely aware of return on investment. Kevin has never said once the reason why it's worth being in a relationship with a woman is for the companionship. And that no, Kevin's like, yo, the shit is transactional. If it's beneficial to you financially to have a wife, then get you a fucking wife. If you have to, get you a starter hoe if you have to. Even when we were talking about strip club game, he said, listen, I don't use strippers for pussy. I can get that all day long. No, I use them for clout. I use them to make moves. That's why I like having Kevin on this panel, because he
advanced
to acknowledge. Yeah, he seems to acknowledge, and he is very aware of the transactional aspect of things. Solo, what would you tell 18-year-old Solo?
Well, the first thing I would say is there's going to be a thing in 2009 called Bitcoin, put $100. $100 would have made me a millionaire today. Second thing is there's a company called Uber. It sounds weird. They'll drive around, put money down there too, right? That for life. But then also when it comes to other things, women are always going to be around. Don't use that energy right now and build yourself up. Focus on self-improvement. Women are always going to be around. So don't worry about the women. They will always be around.
Facts.
Focus on yourself as a man, mentally, spiritually, physically. And basically just focus on you. But of course, that's not the case. So that's why I'm here. Facts.
Walker Jones with the $5 super chat. And oh, by the way, the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. I'm going to take phone calls for 20 minutes and 20 minutes only. I'm not going to be on here all night long. 914-205-5356. If you have a question, a comment, if you want to troll us, whatever the case may be, give us a call. The number is on your screen. If you're outside the U.S., it is 001-914-205-5356. While we're waiting for the queue to back up here, Walker Jones with the $5 super chat says, how do you guys weigh? This is a good question. How do you guys weigh in the risk that a woman can switch up on you at any point and hurt your reputation with various accusations? Steve is shaking his head no, so I'm going to go to you first.
No risk, because when I first meet a woman, I'm letting her know from jump, I'm a drama-free man, and if you bring any drama into my life, on. And that kills it right there. So she knows, look, they're going to shit test you. Yes. I always call it the Captain Kirk. You know, I'm a Trekkie, so don't judge me. But, you know, Kirk always had to make the decision. You know, do I let Yeoman Henson die and save the Enterprise? Or do I save Yeoman Henson and lose the Enterprise? It's got to be a decision you got to make at the end of the day, man. These women are trainable, man. And like Kevin was saying, and Lakari on the thing, all the guys on the panel was saying, it's just like a job. She's coming into your company. So you got to be the one to tell her what are the rules of the company.
Very good. I like that answer. Myron, what's your answer to this? How do you weigh the risk versus reward when a woman can switch up on you and hurt your reputation with, I mean, I'm assuming he's talking about false rape accusations, sexual harassment, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go with Kev. I agree. You got to look at everything from a return on investment perspective, and then the other thing too is you got to be able to recognize crazy stuff from girls. So I told this story on Lucario's thing, and I'll say it real quick. So I went on a date with a girl, and she proceeded to tell me the story unasked about how she basically had sex with a guy for money, right? On from a sugar daddy site. And she was like, "Oh, but I didn't really want to do it." When in reality, she went upstairs to his place, and she was next. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But again, she just wanted to, not take accountability for her actions. And she's like, "Oh, well, you paid me $2,000." We all know when women tell you these stories, they're going to minimize their role in it and try to make themselves look like the innocent ones. But the point is this: I saw early on that, all right, okay, I'll make a move on this girl. If she acts weird, I'm not even going to mess with it, because a girl like that that can't take accountability and puts herself in bad positions where, she's going to claim victim regardless whether she got paid or not. This is probably not a good woman to deal with. So, she acted weird. I was like, all right, listen, you're making it weird. You're free to go at any time. You should just go. And I basically kicked her out of my place. And you got to be willing to do that sometimes, to walk away from situations and not get laid because you understand that the risk to reward is not worth it. So I think just being smart, being aware of female nature and how women operate, how they think, and realizing red flags is going to go a long way. And you have to make that assessment in your head real time as you're dealing with the woman and act accordingly to protect yourself. So if you know what you're doing, this shouldn't even be a problem.
Okay, very good. I'm going to go to Kevin, then Solo, then Lucario. Let's try to make this quick because the phone lines are blowing up. I want to make sure I get to these guys. Kevin, what is your I guess your risk? How do you weigh the risk? How do you calculate the risk? And in other words, what he's saying is how can you tell a woman is worth even investing any time into when she can switch up on you at any time?
Men who want to have useful power collect two things: favors and secrets. Like I said, know what she fears more than what she wants, and make sure she knows it's more valuable to be with me than my enemy.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Solo, risk versus reward, false rape accusations. How do you weigh if a girl is worth pursuing when she can switch up on you at any time?
Save all the text messages, right, Donovan? You said this yourself.
Oh yes.
I've made girls sign consent forms as well. I can show them to you, but is it all of that? If you have a video camera in my state, it is legal. You just have to have a disclaimer and have the girl look at it. They look at the car, it's like, you porn ass addict solo. But just gotta let her know you recording it. Let her be cool with that. So yeah, I got various footage, but it's gonna cost y'all Negroes like $10,000. So that's what I'm gonna leave it at that.
Lucario.
Nah, I definitely agree with. Definitely got to save them text messages. But the thing is, I would say as far as false rape accusations, all those things, make sure that you're dating or dealing with a girl or hooking up with a girl who has something to lose. Usually, women who have something to lose are the type of women who most likely won't be on that BS. So, for example, if you're messing with a girl who lives in a hood and ain't making no money, she a bum, right? Versus if you're dating or hooking up with a doctor, you understand what I'm saying? Like she has something to lose, so she's more likely of the type of woman who's not, on some BS. You understand what I'm saying? But you still
a woman who knows how to cook eggs.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good. 914-205-5356 is the number. Call if you want to get in on the show. I'm requesting, listen, we want to hear what you have to say, what you have to ask, but do not make it lengthy because I will cut your ass off. We have a lot of callers on the line. I'd like to get to all of them. Let's start with area code 843. Area code 843, you're on Live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, area code 843 clearly was not ready. Let's go to area code 202. Area code 202, you're on Live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Chris calling from Phoenix.
What's up, Chris in Phoenix?
For you all, because I feel as though the time factor with regard to the training is being overlooked.
Yes.
Because if you think about back in the day, some women came with more to offer, whereas now, for example, what Solo said, having to train a woman to cook eggs. I remember I have an experience with a woman who didn't know how to cook rice, didn't know how to cook pasta, name it. I had at points in times to come assist her in things. The point is this. That's a full-time job in and of itself on top of you, quote unquote, being on your purpose, which is a full-time job as well. And so when I have to take away from me being on my purpose to then try to train another woman in all of these nuanced areas of life, that then takes away from me, and therefore I then cannot. I transitioned from being an alpha to then becoming a beta.
No.
Chris, hey, hold on, Chris. Guys. Chris, how old are you?
I'm 26.
There you go. Listen, Chris, I'm not saying you're right, and I'm not saying you're wrong. But the younger guys are, the less time they see, the less effort they seem to want to put into training these hoes.
They don't know like games.
Donovan, she should know how to make pasta. Even I can make pasta.
Okay, listen, hold on. Let me just go ahead and correct this right now. Listen, if a girl doesn't know how to make pasta, that's not a deal breaker. Okay?
Exactly.
Listen, hold on. I understand standards, and I understand you have to uphold her to standards. But if she doesn't know how to make pasta, being a deal breaker, that's just silly, right? And I understand if she doesn't know how to make pasta, then what else doesn't she know how to do? But this is why time is involved. You can't use a girl's inability to do something that most women can't do as a referendum on her entire potential. It's just not, to me, it's just not feasible. It's just not feasible.
Donovan.
Well, Donovan, remember when I said it goes back to initially what I said. What value do you think women have outside of the bedroom? And it sounds like a lot of these guys don't feel women have any value.
Kevin, on top of that, it sounds like they're using this as a shoe-in excuse to the truth that they're scared of women, man. This is a problem. You can walk and chew gum because we did that in high school. Didn't we go to social studies, math, and English and all this other stuff? We call purpose, what y'all kids call purpose today, we call responsibility back then. So we were responsible individuals doing our schoolwork and talking to women at the exact same time.
Right.
we didn't judge a woman. I'm sorry, so we got to bring the eggs up. We didn't judge her on the.
Someone's like, come on, man, eggs for real.
What we judged her is how is she gonna make the eggs while she's sucking her dick. How's she making the eggs while she's sucking her ball? That's what we
So
judged.
you gotta make a T-shirt. There
it is. I understand what Solo's coming from. In Solo's mind, and I agree with this, if she doesn't know how to make eggs, like that is a basic rudimentary level than just being a human being. If she can't make eggs, then what else can't she make? Well, you never know unless you really spend time with her. If you don't have that kind of time or patience, I'm not mad at you. It would just appear that a lot of young guys, and I'm not saying, and Solo, you're 35, so you're not really that young. But a lot of these guys are expecting women to come ready-made, but they know they don't come ready-made. They know that deep down inside, they don't have the chops to train a woman, nor should they at 26 years old. So they're saying, well, if she doesn't know how to do X, Y, or Z, then she's out. Listen, slow your roll, little Wody. Wait till you're 35 and you fucked at least 35 women, and then come back and tell me if it's
Donovan,
not.
Are we talking about eggs? Ellen Iverson's voice. Eggs? Eggs?
See, hold on. The thing that I don't understand about a lot of these dudes is if you're gonna have a girl with you that you smashing, you hooking up with, you spending time with, why wouldn't you want her to be doing something else with you? And if you gotta train her to do it and she's coachable, why not? You understand? So my thing is, it's just like we all got smartphones, right?
Yeah.
If somebody say, hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a phone, but all it could do is make phone calls. But then I have this iPhone, it could make phone calls, it could get on the internet, it could do like 10 other things. You're gonna pick the one that could do 10 other things. So if I'm in a situation where I have a woman who I can coach to do 10 other things, I don't understand why wouldn't you do that? That don't make sense to me.
Listen, I agree. And here's the thing about the plain phone and the iPhone costs more. So when we bring it to real life, the cost for you is time, attention, patience. Guys, listen, we know women aren't shit these days. If you want a long-term relationship of consequence, there is going to be work involved. If you're not willing to or can't do the work, I'm not mad at you. You're the only guys on the internet talking about how to do this stuff. Nobody knows how to train women these days. Dude, shit, 90% of men don't even realize that women have to be trained. So I understand that mentality. But at 26 years old, you can't tell me that a woman is not worth training. You just got out of diapers. You're killing me with that. All right, let's go to area code 480. Area code 480. You're on live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Matthew, and I'm calling from Phoenix.
Oh, Matthew in Phoenix. Okay, just like Chris. What's up, Matthew?
So basically, I'm like 23, and I just graduated college like last year. So I've been out of college for about a year or so, and I was dating this girl, or at least I'm in the process of breaking up with her right now. Essentially, her and I both study engineering, so we're both engineers.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Hold on. Let me stop you right there. So you're in the process of breaking up with her?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I guess you're going to tell me why. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. I'm going to tell you why. Essentially, the reason why I think I'm going to break up with her is because I think she's only with me for kind of like the lifestyle that I have, and once
what's wrong with that?
Else that has the same lifestyle.
Hold on. What's wrong? What's wrong with that?
Like I don't necessarily want to facilitate.
Listen, caller. Let me stop you right there. Listen, caller. Let me stop you right there. I'm doing this to help. What you are saying to me is the equivalent of a 21-year-old hot girl calling me up, Donovan. I think this guy is only dating me because I have big tits, a flat stomach, and I'm really hot. I don't really want to facilitate his idea of perfect femininity, so I think I might be in the process of breaking up with him. Here's what you're going to understand. Here's what you're going to have to understand, caller. Girls don't give a fuck about you, okay? My girl doesn't give a fuck about me. She thinks she does, but she doesn't. The reason why Devin is with me is because of the lifestyle I provide for her. That is transactional. That is the way it goes. If you think you're going to find a woman who wants to date you just because she likes you, you're going to be in for a long wait. All relationships are transactional. Am I wrong, caller, or are you looking for something different?
I don't know. I don't think you're wrong.
Okay, all right. He's taking too long. Area code 706. You're on live. You're on live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up? It's Quarantino, the guy calling from Athens.
Hey, QD. What's up, man?
What up? Hey, man. I just wanted to let y'all know that, you know, I'm a dude. I'm in the college town, and you know, these younger women, they got sugar daddies and they're on dating apps and they all think they're models.
Facts.
So you have to understand that going into it, and you got to make sure that your game is on point, because they will submit and do whatever you want to do your laundry, clean, make eggs, or whatever. They'll do all of those things if you exemplify that you're high enough value for her to want to invest in. See, like, you got to make sure, because they can tell the real from the fake. And you see, my girl, she does all that, makes the bed, cleans and cooks and all that stuff. But it's because she gets benefits from me as well, and I'll take her out and you know, do things for her as well. But it's got to be a mutual situation, because at the end of the day, a lot of these girls come into it, they believe that they are more valuable than the man.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Real talk. All right, let's mow through these. That was a good call. Area code 410. And some water too, babe. Area code 410. You're on live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name's Tim.
Tim, what's up?
Thanks for taking my call. Hey, I'm 26, and I realized I've been like almost every experience that I've had with a girl up until like 24 has been bad. And I realized like about 2 years ago that, you know, at that point, I was like, you know what, I should just worry about myself, get my money up, you know, get my game up, worry about, you know, making myself above. Because at the end of the day, you really can't be blaming women for, you know, wanting a guy with a nice car or anything like that. Because again, like you're saying, Donovan, it's transaction.
Yep. All right, well, thanks for the call, area code 410. Let's go to area code 843. Are you ready this time? 843.
What's up, Donovan, man? This is your boy Jay at Flex, man.
What's up?
I've been trying to get in touch with you guys for the longest. Hey, I'm gonna make it quick and brief, man. Hey, this topic right here is, you guys are right. It's basically about transactional relationships and stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
I'm in this relationship, and by the way, I'm on this purple pills, man, and stuff, and trying to get out of this situation here.
Okay.
So basically, what I'm just trying to say this with Kevin Samuels and everything else like this, basically the blue collar hearings got to be more picky than anything with the white collar hearings, if you have to say. So basically, I pretty much say that if you're going to get into a long-term relationship, you got to also look at certain things that even what Coach Greg Adams will say about it, about putting yourself with your finances and your business. That's all I want to say.
Very well, very well said. I'm going to get to the other callers here in just a few. Everybody sit tight. I got some super chats to shout out. Technomage B5 with the $10 super chat says there is no equality. Once made equal to man, woman becomes his superior. Socrates, look at what attracts women. Look at how much men are held responsible versus women. QED, your thoughts, gentlemen. We'll answer that. We'll answer that at the end of the show. That's actually a very good question and would make for a very good discussion. Of course. Oh, Optimus Kime, Sharpe D, $10. I'm sorry, $20 super chat says the singular Superman of value. Don't spend all this money at one time unless you want to, in which case you should spend it all in one place. Keep up the good work. I appreciate the $20 super chat, Optimus Kime. King Sargon II, $5 super chat says we all taught women how to suck the baloney pony. Nothing else is different. Real motherfucking talk. 2 question marks, $5 super chat says training is like investing in the stock market. Invest early, well, with great diversification, and it pays dividends for life. I would agree with that particular analogy. Freelance Ronan with the $5 super chat says, damn good show, gentlemen. Okay, let us get back to the phone lines. I know I'm mowing through this here, but I promise I'm going to have a purpose here. Area code 702. Area code 702, you're on live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Bertram. I'm calling out Batesville, Indiana, originally from LA.
Okay.
I just want to tell you guys again, man, thank all 6 of you. I know we're missing Minister Jap, but I just want to thank you guys for all the great work you're doing. Every time I tune in to your show, you're teaching me something. But most of all, I've been up on Kevin Samuels of late, Mr. Lucario. I do got to work on getting better fit, but I've been rolling with Solo for a while and Coach Greg Adams. But I just want to say to each one of you guys, especially Steve the Dean, keep up what you're doing. You're helping another brother out here who's listening, who's building himself up. I'm 40 years old, single, and I'm taking you guys lessons. I'm learning. And Donovan, man, you're doing a great thing by bringing all these men together. It's showing black men in the community that not only can it be done, not only can we talk even early with the egg thing, you know. You gotta make sure you're in position.
You ain't never gonna lay that down.
Be able to take that load. So thank you guys. I know you guys are running low on time. Again, Bertram, just giving you all major shout out.
Appreciate that, man. Listen, I love hearing phone calls like that. Bertram shouting out these scrambled eggs for 1684. Area code 316. You're on live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, it's Walker from Colorado. Actually,
Hey,
Walker
what's
Jones
up, man?
in the chat.
Okay,
But,
what's up, Walker?
Hey, what's up? No, doing good. I don't want to take up much of your time, but again, just kind of to echo the last guy, honestly, just a quick thank you to you guys, man. It is incredible to have mentors like you that people like me can emulate. And there's something magnetic about, like, it's kind of like one of those things when you see it, you know it.
Yes.
When you see a man, you know, being a man and saying and, you know, demonstrating things like that, it's just, you see it, and it's just something that naturally, you know, resonates with, I think, especially me. I'm a young guy. So just please, yes, again, like the last caller said, keep it up. Keep this going. I'm learning so much from all of you guys, and I appreciate the hell out of it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Walker in Colorado. So Zolnex asks a question. We'll get to the last 3 callers in a second. It says he's confused about transactional, so both parties contribute in the same way. No, this is what every relationship is transactional, and it's very simple. When a man and a woman commit to each other, there is an unspoken agreement that in exchange for her body and exclusivity to her body, a man then provides resources, company, et cetera, et cetera. So this is why sugar babies get shamed, and men who fuck and older men who fuck younger girls are shamed. They're doing what their instincts are telling them. So the way it works like this, it's transactional. If a woman doesn't fuck you, you're not going to provide resources. If you don't provide resources, women are not going to fuck you. So now, okay, well, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? No pun intended. The woman's got to provide first, because women need our money a lot more than we need pussy, because there aren't many guys, there aren't many high value guys, but there are hundreds of thousands of hoes running around. So if there's any woman out here watching, talk about, yeah, this is transactional, you got to give me some before I give you some. No, bitch, I can have 10 of you in 10 fucking minutes. If you want my commitment, you got to give me the pussy first. Period. Point.
The new girl turns 18 every 5 minutes, bro.
5 seconds, God damn it. Red Pill Mike with the $20 super chat says late to the show, but showing my support to the fellas. Appreciate that RPM. Let's get through these last calls, and then we will continue on with the show. Area code 678. You're on live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Q calling from California.
Q and Cali, what's up?
Nothing, man. Look, I just want to add on first and foremost, like everybody else said, thank you for the work y'all doing. Me, myself, I've been married. I've been with my wife since I was 18.
Wow.
You know, we've been together for a while. And I had some red pill, I'm 32 now, you know, and I have some red pill truths that I was living by before we got together. But thanks to the work that you guys are doing, I can see where I was slipping in my game.
Okay.
I was able to tighten some things up, and I see our relationship improving because some of the things I was doubting myself on. But this is what I want to add. Y'all gave an iPhone analogy talking about value. So at the end of the day, long-term relationships are not worth it. All right, so going into it with that mindset, she got to be extra special. You can only do this one time. Only get married once. Never do it twice. And then what Kevin Samuels was talking about with being a master of a universe, I'm an astrologer. And one of the things that I don't understand is why people get into relationships with people and they don't know who they're dealing with beyond just what they're seeing in 5 years. So people make this mistake. And if you go look at most of these people in the relationships they get into, you will see that people confuse love with marriage. People confuse work with marriage. You have different type of relationships with people, and all people are compatible. But when you go into choosing a wife, you need to do the research on the universe. Being a master of the universe, you need to do your research and make sure you are compatible beyond what you can just see her doing for you. So thank you, gentlemen, and y'all keep up the good work. Peace.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Dirty D Rodney with the $2 super chat says solo for the egg tanglement.
Egg shirts coming soon. Egg shirts coming soon.
Never gonna let this down. I actually had scrambled eggs for breakfast, so that was good. Last phone call of the evening. Area code 651. Area code 651. You're on live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Donovan. This is Caudenicus.
What's up, man?
Just wanted to say, all of you guys are doing the Lord's work. Thank you so much. I've been following you for about a year, and a lot of your teachings have helped me out a lot. So just wanted to say thanks. That's about all I got.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you calling in, man. Caudenicus, I've actually called him Caudentius for a while, so I'm glad that I have that all squared away. So as we round third and head for home, I want to pose one more question to the chat, and it was actually a super chat that we got earlier that I said it was by Technomage B5. Give me a second. I should have had it up. I know I'm slacking here.
He asked about equality with women and men.
Yes, he says there. Okay, so I want to go around the room here. There is no equality. He says once made equal to man, woman becomes his superior. Look at what attracts women. Look at how much men are held responsible versus women. I don't know what QED means. What is the? Can anybody tell me what he means by that? QED. Question. Okay. What? Okay. So, what are your thoughts? I guess when he's talking about like we're held responsible for everything, but women are never held responsible for anything. This is one of the 3 pillars of feminism. The third pillar of feminism, and stay with me here, is to remove authority from men while giving authority to women, while at the same time removing all responsibility from women and putting responsibility onto men. So, Steve, what are your thoughts on men being held responsible for more things than women?
I don't mind being held responsible because it's my name I've got to uphold. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I don't mind. I take that on. I welcome the responsibility. I welcome the weight of the world on my shoulder because it's all about me. I've got to lead me first before I can lead anybody else. And a man that can't lead himself is going to sit there like I think he's trying to say. I'm trying to understand this. He's trying to say that if a woman becomes equal to a man, that she's better than him. I'm trying to understand what he means, Donovan. I think
it was a quote that Socrates says, but I don't think it was about superiority. I think what he meant more or less was what are your thoughts? And I think you answered the question. What are your thoughts on men having more responsibility than women?
I am the leader. I am the king. I am the God, right? I am all things. So I have to have all the responsibility because if I don't know what I am before I walk out that door, then she's going to make me what she wants me to be. Fuck that. No.
All right. I'm with it. Myron, what are your thoughts?
Men have so with that, so that's a great question. I think one of the biggest mistakes men make is buying into the equality pill. And they basically think that they're equal with their girlfriend or their wife. And the problem when you do that is that, guys, you got, and then we know this now being in the sphere, but we know women date up, which means they're looking for a man who's superior to them. So by default, you cannot allow her to be equal to you, and you cannot allow her to have equal authority or position in the relationship. And when you do, you basically set yourself up for failure. I always say anything that's successful is never run by committee. The United States of America, any top business, there's a CEO and there's a leader, a president, etc. So there has to be a decision maker. With that said, your girl can advise you. You know, she could be your consigliere, as they would say in the mafia days. You know what I'm saying? And she can give you advice, and you can make your decision based on her advice as well. But at the end of the day, you got to be the guy signing off and allowing things to happen. And when you do it that way, then your woman has no choice but to respect you. And the other thing too is that when you defer authority to your girl, she's not going to deal with the same responsibilities and the consequences that come from that like you will as a man. You know what I'm saying? So if you let your girl handle the leadership thing, when she divorces your ass, she's going to blame you for letting her get the leadership. And that is why the marriage rate and the divorce rates are so high, and they're initiated by women, because men don't understand anymore that fundamentally you have to be the leader in your relationship, whether it's a marriage, a girlfriend, the boyfriend thing, a fuck fest, whatever it is, you have to lead her, because if you don't, you're going to take a L every single time. And I would say one of the biggest things guys need to internalize if you're going to be good with women is that she is not equal to you and you must lead every single interaction. And it's got to be deliberate. Like if she says, hey, let's eat here, you tell her, no, we're going to go eat here. Even if you wanted to eat at that place, it's got to be that deliberate, guys. So that's all I wanted to say on that. Like you and your girl are never equal.
I like what Myron said about anything successful is successful. Anything that is successful is there's one person in charge. Like my relationship is not a democracy. Okay, this is a dictatorship. Listen, I value Devin's opinion very much. He has proven to me over the years that she is someone I can trust her judgment. But at the end of the day, I make the decision. Kevin, what are your thoughts on men having more responsibility than women?
What? Yes. Like I said, I fucked up because I wanted it easy.
There you go.
Life, like I said, the first thing I would tell my younger self, life ain't fair, nor should it be. I want it to not be easy. I want it to be hard so I can get more shit than your lazy fucking asses. That's why I want to make all the money, the lions and the sheep. See, there's a lot of room up at the top for the guys who are willing to hashtag show their work. This show that Donovan does, in addition to his pre-recorded videos, in addition to his shows he does every day, is not easy. That's why he's making the kind of money he's making and going where he's going. And here's the thing. It's open to everybody. YouTube does not charge you a fee to do this, but the requirement is the responsibility and stepping up saying, I want to be consistent. Problems we have being raised by our single mothers, lacking focus, structure, consistency, and discipline. So bring on the heat if you can handle it. Get some martial arts, get a black belt, get the shit together.
Very good, man. Solo, what are your thoughts on men having more responsibility than women?
Well, there's no exception to this. This should be a rule. You feel me? And at the end of the day, because as men, right, we build civilizations. We are the ones who are the dreamers. We're the ones who are, the scientists, the have the imagination for everything. And at the end of the day, and I think even Steve would agree with me, if she's not following your lead, then who's following who?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yes, we being the leader, if your woman messes up, then hold her accountable. The onus of her effing up, call her out on her shit. We should do that as men. But we're equal. Yeah, I'm not gonna call you out because with feminism said we can be all the same. No. Call that chick out. If she messing up, if she's not the exception to the rule, she doesn't know how to be excellent at what she does, then you gotta call out. At the end of the day, Myron said it perfectly, and I'm gonna leave it at that. And what a anyway, I'm done with the egg jokes.
Mr. Lucario, what are your thoughts on men having more responsibility than women?
Yeah, well, that's the way it's supposed to be, pretty much. Because the thing is, the person who's built for the situation is the person who's supposed to have the most responsibility. So if I'm in a restaurant and somebody's choking and there's a doctor in the house, the doctor is supposed to be the one that has the most responsibility, not the person who's not the doctor. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that you as the man, you're more equipped to be able to lead, manage, and guide. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why the responsibility should be on you. Unfortunately, you got a lot of guys nowadays who because they think that they're equal to women. This is why guys think they don't have to train women. You feel what I'm saying? They're like, I don't got a trainers. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Because we're not equal, that's why you got a trainer. You see what I mean? That's why it has to be that dynamic,
especially nowadays,
right? And the whole thing. You see what I mean? Yeah, so that's what it is.
Okay, so we've got two more things to get to. I'm going to give you guys a sort of a surprise right at the end because I think this is going to benefit everybody. But for right now, it's time. It's time for the Cocaine Chronicles.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this all night. Let's go.
This little story right here didn't really turn out so well. So I was at this party, right? And I think there were probably some prostitutes there. Anytime you have a party with a bunch of strippers, there's going to be prostitutes, escorts, call girls, etc. Well, there was a girl there. She's actually a little older. I think she's like in her late 30s. There was a woman there, typical Vegas MILF, long blonde hair, huge fake D tits. I've been trying to get at her probably for 6 months. Finally, she says, hey, check this out. I got a hotel room. Let's go back. I'm like, yo, we got to stop by this party because I want to get some party favors from my homeboy. This was a big mistake. she says, okay, take, she said, well, how much is that? I was like, well, I don't know, it's like $40, whatever. She's all right, take out $40. I took out $300, right? Took out $300 when she only told me to take $40. So we get to the hotel room, dude, we're doing lines, dude, we're all hot and heavy. I'm like, dude, I'm finally gonna fuck, dude, and I was ready to beat the brakes off this woman. Guess what didn't happen? My dick didn't work. Dude, this was the time when I figured out that I couldn't really do anything with cocaine in my system unless I had Viagra. Now, I guess we should all know this because of the whole Lamar Odom saga, right? Mm-hmm. But after that particular chance, I never got another chance again. Just guys, it was fucking embarrassing, dude. Like, she gets on her knees, she's trying to suck my dick. It's like a wet noodle. I'm like, oh my fucking god, it was unbelievable. And that was the night that I learned that unless I have Viagra in my system, you cannot be on cocaine while you are fucking these hoes. Man, that was
that probably destroyed her ego, though, Donovan. That probably destroyed her ego, bro.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Listen, she was dating a firefighter in California. I think his name was
Wow.
She said the sex was terrible, but for whatever reason, she couldn't get enough of this guy. I was like, okay, well, I guess the game is the game. So, okay, so the last thing that I am going to share with you, gentlemen, is for those of you who follow my channel, you guys are well aware of the fact that I have a new hater. A new fan club. This woman is named H is the letter H. So I cooked her ass, and basically she was arguing with my assertion that 30-year-old women are not as attractive as 20-year-old women. That was the first one. She was telling us that the wall wasn't real. Then, of course, she talked about my assertions about black women. I'm not going to get into that, but as we can plainly see, listen, this is an attractive woman. But what's the first thing you notice about her? Yeah, that's right. She has a wig. This woman is from Portugal. This woman has made 4 videos about me. She has named them all Donovan Sharpe. Every time I cook this bitch, she comes back with another fucking video, which proves one thing: she absolutely wants the D. Anyway, I cooked her on my video and I said, "Bitch, grow your real hair and then we can talk." So she made another video with her natural hair, which was an abject fucking disaster, right? So I cooked her on that video as well. So then, and take a look at your screen, guys, you can see what she looks like now, right? So she says, well, I'm going to show you what my real hair looks like. And this, gentlemen, is what she said. Take a look and watch. So this apparently is her real hair. As you can see, she's got 89 filters in this video. This chick is all on my jock. And here's the thing, man. You know you've made it when your haters start looking like this. Let's not be disingenuous, guys. This is an attractive woman, but she is only 27 years old, looks every bit of 47.
Jeez, she's 27?
27. Yeah. I called her out. I said, you're not 27. This woman doxed herself. She showed her passport to the world.
I watched those videos. She's 27?
27 years old, which means one thing and one thing only. This woman is a working girl. She is an escort. She told herself multiple times, I fuck men around the continent, around the globe, including in America. I was engaged to. No, this woman is a call girl. And the reason why we know she's a call girl, obviously she gave herself away. Her body language says she's a call girl, and she looks like this at the age of 27. So Helena better listen. She needs to do 2 things. She needs to grow her hair, and she needs to get to getting, because she's not going to look like this for too much longer. If she looks like this at 27, God only knows what this bitch is going to look like when she is 47 years old. So
she got 10,000 sticks there.
She tried to say that was her natural hair.
He tried to say that was. He said in the caption it says, "What's your excuse now, Donovan?" She is literally telling me, Donovan, I want to fuck you. You said I have fake hair. This is my real hair. What's your excuse not to fuck me? Right?
I'm about to clap them cheeks.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen, every time I cook this bitch on the air, she makes another video, and it's only addressed to me. And she'll go in on all of my chatters. She never goes in on me. Why? Because she wants the D. Helena, you're an attractive woman, but I like pulling hair. I like smacking ass. and I'm not trying to pull hair out when I'm fucking abroad. You're gonna have to go somewhere else.
I want to say this real quick, Donovan. The fact, what I want the viewers to notice is that she's qualifying to you right now, which is this is excellent. This is how you guys, when you want a girl on her back foot like this every single time you're dealing with her, where she's qualifying to get your attention or whatever it may be.
Here's my hair.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too, bro. Miami is filled with girls that look like her, and you can tell from looking at them that they've been doing their thing on the CC. If you guys know what I'm talking about,
of course.
So. Yeah, man. This girl, the fact that she looks like that and she's only 27, dude. Man, she's gonna have a rough future, bro.
I would like to
go ahead, Steve.
I would like to give everybody a Donovan Sharpe lesson right here. Now, this is what y'all guys got to understand. Donovan is showing you what happens when you take the power out of the pussy and make it about yourself. She's doing everything she can to get Donovan's attention. She's doing everything she can to get Donovan to say, hey, can you just give me a pinch or a piece or morsel of your time? That's what she's doing. And she's like crying for help. She's like that alcoholic that really knows she's an alcoholic, but she doesn't really tell people she's an alcoholic. But she knows she is, you know what I mean? So she wants, like you say, she wants to suck, fuck, and lick the dirt from. I don't say you got dirt under your balls. She want to do all that nasty shit to you,
absolutely.
But she just doesn't know how to do it because she's never used to being in a position, Donovan, to wanting a man more than men want her. So she's outside of her element. She's flopping around in the water right now. She doesn't know what to do, brother.
Listen, Steve is 100% right. Do you see the name of the video? Donovan Sharpe Part 3. The interesting thing is at the end of the last video I showed you, she says, and your viewers tell me that I can't get a man. Well, you know what? I can get a man, and I do look good, but I don't want to look good for someone like you, Donovan. It's not you, Donovan. I'm going to say it one more time. It's not you, Donovan. Then 10 minutes later, she comes out with this video right here.
Yeah, this speaks to the delusion, man. Like the reality is this speaks to the delusion of like a lot of women nowadays. I'm just going to call it like it is because a lot of girls think, oh, I could just keep doing this shit, keep doing what I'm doing. And then they hit 30, 31, 32, and then they can't find the serious boyfriend. And a lot of girls make the I'm going to say grave mistake of conflating male attention with, oh, these are guys that want to commit to me. And that's the biggest mistake a girl can make is that they don't understand that like these guys just want to sleep with you. They don't take you seriously and actually expect to commit to you.
Look at her facial expression.
Yeah.
Look at
that woman boils bunnies.
Listen, look at the facial expressions in this video. She's not trying to prove anything. She's just trying to make me want to fuck her. That's it.
Facts with the filters too.
Say what?
She's going hard with the filters too, man. Like,
dude.
If that woman lived here in the States, she would be boiling rabbits on your. No, dude.
Dude, this bitch wants me to smack. This bitch would have 8 of my kids if I told her to. Yeah. Real motherfucking
90 seconds.
With that, guys, I've got a few more super chats, and then we are going to go ahead and cut this short. Holy shit! Did I miss all the super chats? There were a couple of super chats that I missed. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, it's almost time. I gotta get to my next.
Okay, all right. Listen, shout out to all of the super chats. Kyle Dunn says she's done lots of meth. I mean, dude, girls. I mean, listen, this girl was an escort. Like, let's not, make any bones about it. Escorts do a lot of drugs. I'm sure Helena's done a lot of drugs. Closing thoughts, guys. Closing thoughts on whether long-term relationships are worth pursuing with women here in 2020. Steve, you're leading off.
First off, thank you, Donovan. Thank you, panel. And thank you, everybody out in the motherfucking chat room, dogs. We love all you guys. We appreciate you. My final thoughts is this, guys. At the end of the day, man, before you walk out that door, man, learn your standard of what you're looking for, but don't go out there looking for a woman. Let her come to your motherfucking ass and prove to you why she should take your name and your ring and show you why she's got fucking value on your team instead of yours or hers. Thank you, Donovan.
Dude, that's why I like Steve, man. Steve is as consistent as it comes. I love it. Myron.
Yeah, man. So just to add on to what Steve said, let the girls come to you guys and qualify to you. Because at the end of the day, the girls are looking for the commitment. You got to put them through the ringer and see if they're worth it. But with that said, in 2020, I would say this: you got to have some prerequisites. You got to have at least dated 30 to 50 girls. Yep. You got to have your money on point, and you have to be high value yourself. That way, you're going to be able to actually exert and, more importantly, enforce your boundaries, and she's going to respect them. So you have to have your stuff all together first. Then she's going to come and want to qualify to you. Then you could put her through the ringer. and see if it's worth it. But you got to get the experience before you even think about going into an LTR, and you got to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, to raise a family, to have children. If you're not trying to do that, man, just stay single and like don't cohabitate or any of that stuff where you put yourself in a bad position legally. So that's all I got, man. Thanks for the support,
man.
guys.
Absolutely. Macario.
Yeah, so I'd say, listen, guys, do not ever get into a long-term relationship for emotional reasons. Okay, just because you're like, she's oh my God, I love her, she's so great, and none of that. You understand? It should be at least 90% practical, logical, 10% emotional. If it's going to be anything like that, you got to make sure it's like that. And just again, you have to be ready for it. Remember, it's a 24-hour job, 7 days a week. Not to say that it's anything that is, just work, but the work is worth it if you actually get the chick that's going to be coachable and cooperative, and things will benefit you in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Very well, dude. I have never heard that before. Don't get into a long-term relationship based on emotion. That's facts, man.
That'll fuck you up. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, man. Solo, your closing thoughts.
Shout out to Myron and Lucario. Look, if she's following your program, she meets all your qualifications. She's following, she's cooperative, like Lucario said. I love that word, by the way. Then, yeah, if she meets everything, sure, why not? But if she's being, suffers from princess syndrome, she's still stuck off the other guy, or she is an enigma. Get it?
I'm with you.
Then no. And guess what, guys? Most women you're going to meet, I got to keep it real. Most, not all, but most women in the Generation Z and millennial women are going to be pump and dump situationships.
More than most, Solo. Like more than most.
They belong to the streets, guys. Get used to that. Until proven otherwise.
Pump and dump situationships material. So when you are meeting a woman that you want her to be your long-term girlfriend or whatever, qualify her, make sure she passes your test, make sure she knows how to fry eggs.
He had to do it. Kevin, what's up, man? What are your final thoughts?
Well, here's the thing. I don't tolerate or make any decisions from a place of scarcity or from a place of fear. So when you ask about our relationships, long-term relationships, of course, people do them every day.
Yes.
Human beings are going to be with each other. I don't care what kind of environment, what kind of men will get with women worldwide. That is how we're biologically designed. It's how we're wired. It's not going to change. So I look at it from a standpoint of what's the benefit. There's a benefit to it, and then figure out I've asked this question on my channel. Rich and wealthy men marry, divorce, and remarry. What do they understand about being married that single middle class people don't?
I guess
that's the question. Right? There's something there. You got to figure that out. So there you go.
I'm going to answer one last super chat here from Carlos Lopez. He says, "Why do women think emotionally yet don't care about a man's emotions when they cheat?" Well, this is easy. Because women don't care, period. A woman's emotions have nothing to do with anybody else's emotions. That and listen, I appreciate the super chat, but you have to understand that was a stupid question. Why, why do women think emotionally, but they don't care about a man's emotions? No, they don't give a shit about men, period. Women only think about themselves. So the answer to your question is that they're solipsistic. They only think about themselves. Just because women are emotional creatures does not mean they're going to be thinking about your emotions. All they're thinking about
They love opportunistically, bro. You got to understand. They love opportunistically. You love idealistically. And if you don't understand that, you're going to take hella L's with girls.
I'm gonna leave it on this. And I think a lot of guys need to understand this. And I actually had a viewer. He wrote me a long soliloquy on why he disagreed with that. And thanks to Kevin Samuels, he had to jet. I appreciate him and his contribution on the show. And listen, some of you guys may disagree, and I guess we can have a short conversation about that. But in my opinion, the woman that you have the most successful relationship with, the most successful red pill relationship, can never ever be the woman you love the most. The relationship that I'm in with Devin right now, it is the best long-term relationship I have ever been in. I'm here to tell you, Devin is not the woman that I have loved the most. Devin is probably number 3. Number one was a fucking hot redneck girl by the name of Amy. I have never loved anyone or anything as much as I loved her to this day. Number 2, a hot blonde Ukrainian girl by the name of Tetiana, who took me for a fucking ride in Vegas. Yeah. I loved her almost as much as Amy. Devin is probably number 3. Okay. And this goes right back to what Lucario said. You cannot get into long-term relationships because of emotion. Do I love Devin? Of course I do. But one of the main reasons I got into a long-term relationship with her is because I saw what she could add to my life. Her skill set, her willingness to learn, her willingness to sort of represent me, right? Devin's not the best-looking girl I've ever dated, and she's not the girl that I love the most, yet she has added by far and away the most to my life. Okay. So if you want to know what the key is to having a relationship with a woman, in my opinion, it can never be the woman that you love the most, and you cannot make that emotional decision. You have to be and it's hard not to do, guys. But this is where the 35 and 35 rule comes into place. When you have fucked at least 35 women, you now have the ability to compartmentalize sex from love. And a man in his 20s, if he's only fucked 5 girls, he's going to equate love with sex. Well, if I'm having sex with her, I must love her. You fuck 35 girls, you're like, man, I really love fucking that girl, but I really don't like her. That's when you are ready. That is when you are ready to make an informed decision about a long-term relationship. At that point, you can act accordingly. Gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure. I think we absolutely hit another home run with this, man. And listen, thank you to you all. Thanks to Steve the Dean Williams for his consistency. Myron Gaines with that Miami street game cred. I mean, that dude, every time you come on here, man, like it's just amazing how much game you actually have. I had no idea.
I'm out here, man, gaming these girls at Publix and everything. Night game, all this shit, running around.
Shout out to Mr. Lucario, who has the relationship that we would all like. And shout out to Solo TV 84, man. Listen, it's not easy to go against the grain and tell the panel, you know what? I don't think it's worth it, and here's why. And you want to know something, man? Like you steered me more in your direction. I'm a hard-headed fuck for sure, but you made rational, reasonable arguments. Maybe you'll change your mind when you get to become my age. Maybe I change my mind in 5 years, but I now understand why guys are checking out of the dating market. It just is what it is. Smash and pass.
Great discussion, man.
Yeah, great discussion.
Not an echo chamber, great points.
Nope. Yeah, it's not an echo chamber.
It's an exception.
The extension. I don't think I have to take this one down off YouTube. I don't think we went too far off the rails.
I think it was good. It was good.
I think we're good. So we're gonna keep
too many egg jokes.
yeah, right. So they're not gonna penalize us for that.
That's why.
That is going to do it for this episode of The 7. We will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Everybody have a good evening.
Later, guys.